Edo, welcome to Nochoftes. And therapy, guys, is in session. You see, it's been a very, very difficult month for a lot of our supporters. And quite understandable that people are frustrated. It's understandable that people feel somewhat pissed around. But you see, when it comes to therapy sessions, it's not about Stell. It's about you. So I'm going to put the StreamYard link here. And if anyone wants to jump on and have their therapy, free session, by the way, free session, the link is here. And I shall be making some notes on the things that you say. And I might have to do an analysis for each one of you. And then obviously it's confidential, so I'll tell you after the show. But before we begin our little therapy session, I'm going to show you some statistics. Now, I know people love stats. I love a stat. And there are people that believe that if you analyze games and if you analyze tactics, it's completely worthless. I think otherwise. But I'm going to show you guys some statistics since Yanni has taken charge of the club until whenever it is. And to be brutally honest with you guys, is the style of football we're playing great to watch? No. Does it excite you? No. Is it something that makes you look back on and think this game was outstanding, this performance was incredible, it really got me interested or excited about the rest of the season, got me optimistic? No. It's none of those. In fact, the football is bland. It's crap. But here's the but. We're getting results. And here's the thing. I'm not here to defend him. I've been his staunchest critic. I've been very critical of this club to the point where people believe that Stell is the problem. And I've been saying it for a long time. Stell isn't the problem. It's the toxic positivity that's the problem. And if you go on the video since the beginning of the season, in fact, the beginning of last season in the members area, thank you, my guy. We got a new member. And you're more than welcome to go back to all the videos I've done the last 2 years. In fact, start at the beginning of this season. In fact, this pre-season, when you see all the things that Stell was saying about how this club has been operating, how it's been behaving, tell the truth and shame the devil. And now you see vengeance is mine. I'm getting my vengeance on a lot of people. Some people are watching now. They might be watching later. And they're just watching to see what Stell says. But hey, as I was saying, Pedro's here. I'm going to bring him on in just a moment. Toxic positivity. Yes, George. These days, we're on the peak of toxic positivity. There you go, my guys. But people are starting to wisen up and see what I've been saying for a long time. But hear me out here. Because despite the crap football, despite the boring football, we're getting results. And would it be a bad idea? And I'm going to say this and people are going to go, oh my God, what's he doing? Is he doing a U-turn? Is he doing a 180? No. Because I'm thinking logically here. Because we're in a results industry, right? Doesn't matter how we win. As far as I'm concerned, I want to win. I want to win trophies. I want to win games. I want to be coming on this podcast saying, "Won again, boys and girls," or whatever you identify yourselves as. I want to win games. And the fact is, we're doing pretty well under Yanni. So why not give it to him permanently? And I know people are going to say, again, hear me out. He's the athletic director, right? He only has one person to answer to, and that's number one. So is it a coincidence that the players are now pulling performances out of their ass because the main decision maker, although number one signs everything off, and maybe number two is still here signing things off, I don't know, allegedly. Would it be a bad idea for Yanni to have the job permanently? Because he's the eyes and ears of the hierarchy. He's the eyes and ears. Give it to him permanently. Because he's starting to see what we've been saying about the players over the past 3 or 4 years, how they've been throwing managers under the bus with their performances. Would it be a bad thing? And again, people say, "My Belanes, are you crazy? You're talking rubbish." A few weeks ago, in fact, a few days ago, you're saying get a new coach in. Do you know what? I don't want a new coach right now. Don't want it. Because it's going to be starting again and again and again. But anyway, I'm going to bring Pedro in. Then oh my goodness, bro, you've subscribed twice. You might want to cancel one, bro. But thank you anyway. Pedro's here. Hello, Pedro.
Hello.
How you doing, bro?
I'm good. We just finished a little while ago recording a new episode of Amici Trisi Fili.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be an interesting one. Had a long discussion about something which you all can see next week.
Splendid, splendid. Well, Pedro, thank you for joining me on this therapy session. I want to bring up some statistics first. Do you mind if I do this first?
No, go ahead.
Okay. Well, I know some comments already, but let me just bring up these statistics. And it's fairly obvious, but then when you look at the bigger picture, what I'm saying kind of makes sense. So just hear me out. So these are the results since Yanni's second charge, right? As you can see, we beat Buffalo, we drew with Aboel, beat Rapid Vienna, lost to Ethnigor, drew with Borac, Banja Luka, then we beat Salamina, beat AEK, Anorthosi we lost to, beat AL, Spartakos, blah, 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 blah. It's all there. Okay? So these are the results. Cup, League, Europe. Okay? Now, if we want to delve into this a little bit deeper, this is his record. 9 wins in the league, 5 draws, 2 losses, 2 defeats. Yeah? In the cup, 2 wins, clearly. And in Europe, a win and a draw. So we've only lost 2 games in all the games that he's been in charge. Okay? So we move it on. Let's look. Goals scored, 28 goals, 15 in the league, 6 conceded in the league, I believe. Goals conceded in the league, 5. No, 1 minute. Goals conceded. Oh, Conference League. What am I talking about? Anyway, these are the stats. Whatever. I think I must have fucked up somewhere. 28 goals scored, 15 in the league, 6 conceded. Why did I put that one? Was it goals conceded league? Sorry, 5. No. 5 conceded in the league. We've conceded 6 in total, but 5 in the league. That's right, because we only conceded 1 in Europe under him. That's right. I'm right. Yeah, because we've had 2 Europa games, Conference League games. We conceded 1 against Rapid Vienna. We didn't concede against Borac. Yeah, we played 2 cup games. We didn't concede any goals. So that's right. 5 in the league, conceded 1 in Europe. There you go. 6. Okay. See, I knew it makes sense. 9 clean sheets in total, 6 clean sheets in the league. Yeah. So we're good. We're on the right track so far. Now, here's where it gets interesting. He took charge in the 1-0 victory against Buffalo. That was his first game, yeah? Yes. Now, I'm looking at the results from the teams above us at the moment. Buffalo, Ari, and AEK. Yeah? These are the results from that weekend. So, for example, we beat Buffalo 1-0 on the 2nd of Feb. The day before the 1st, Ari beat Aboel 2-1. And AEK beats Omonoia 5-1, right? So those are the corresponding fixtures for the specific dates. So the week after, we drew with Aboel, Buffalo beat Ethnigor, Paralimni lost 2-1 to Ari, and AEK beat Aradipol 1-0. So these are all the results since Yanni has come in parallel to our fixtures. Do you understand where I'm coming from now, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So at the bottom, you got the points totals. Buffalo have accumulated 18 points since they lost against us. Ari have accumulated 21 points. AEK 20 and us 17. So Yanni has gained us 17 points. And people are going to be telling me now, well, what's the point in telling us this? And the reason why I'm saying this is because he's come in.
Still, leave it bigger. Leave it full screen.
Bigger?
I'm reading something. Yeah. Leave it full screen.
Right. So I'm saying that he's come in and he's given us 17 points in the league, right? Just say yes if you understand.
Yes.
AEK, since the time that Yanni has taken charge of us, AEK have gained 20 points. Ari, 21, and Buffalo, 18. The reason why this is significant for me is because we've gained 17 points, but we haven't moved up the table, not because we're not doing well, but because the other teams aren't dropping points.
I'm
I
going
mean,
to
they
add something
are.
to what you said that now.
Go on.
Paphos,
Yeah.
in this that you have in front of me now,
Mhm.
Paphos had 2 derbies.
Yep.
Addis had 2 derbies.
Yep.
Sorry, 3. I had 3 derbies. Omonia had 4.
Right.
That should count also, because that means that they already have one more derby to play for Addis and I that we played already, and Paphos has 2 more to play.
Right.
So there could be differences furthermore.
It could be, but what I'm saying is, again, I'm not saying that he should be the guy, like definitely give it to him, but it makes sense for him to stay till at least the end of the season. I just want people to calm down a little bit because, bro, you see this, right? You see it on Discord, you see it on everything that we've got, you know, all the platforms, everything, right?
Yeah.
And the past couple of days, it's been absolutely manic. And I can understand it. I can understand people's frustrations. We need a central defender. We've signed Ingebrigtsen. And by the way, if you're on the Patreon, you can watch for €3 a month. You can see the interview I did with Matt Arnson. He is a Norwegian journalist. He came on when Rekdal came in, and he came on the Patreon so he could talk to us about Ingebrigtsen and what we can expect. And in all fairness, if I'm going to pay attention to what Matt said, I'm literally going to sit here and say, do you know what? If he does well, brilliant. If he doesn't do well, okay, it's not a gamble. It really isn't a gamble, in all fairness. It's a free transfer. The guy is match fit. His season has just finished in Norway.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
tell them, because most people think that he's been sitting on his ass.
He hasn't. The season finished a couple of weeks ago, if that. So he's still got that match fitness. And people can say, yeah, but they got relegated. Well, first of all, he didn't play in Division 2. His team got relegated in Division 2. And my argument here is, okay, his team weren't great, but he started the season very well. Just watch the Patreon and you'll be fine. But in addition to that, how many teams have got relegated from any league in the world? And you turn around and said, do you know what? I can't believe they've gone down because they had this player and he was decent, or they had that player and he was decent. Just because they got relegated doesn't mean that he's a bad player. Exactly. Perhaps they had 7 coaches. Perhaps they had financial problems. Perhaps they were shafted. You don't know.
Yeah.
So again, I understand the frustration of people because Simic is going and people saying we need to spend the money. We need to spend the money. And again, I'm not here to defend the club. As you know, I've been very critical to the point where people criticize me for it. But you can't turn around and say that they haven't been a little bit smart with their transfer activity for this particular deal. Because a player has gone, the club is making a bit of money, and we're bringing in a player who, yes, is relatively unknown, but perhaps he fits the style that is required by this coach. And let's get it right. If they desperately wanted to keep Simic, do you think they would have let him go? Do you think they would have sat him down to renew his contract? Of course they would have sat down to renew his contract if they desperately wanted him. But the money came in, and yes, money, I get it. But you need to understand that there is a strategy somehow behind this particular move. So again, I'm not getting angry. What's frustrating though, and I'll let you speak in just a moment, is when they can continuously release these statements and they tell fans, well, when one player goes, we're going to bring in another one and blah, blah, blah. And the window closes, tomorrow? And we still need a central defender, at least a central defender, and maybe another forward or a wide man, maybe. But we definitely need the central defender. And if they bring in a central defender that isn't up to standard, and listen, Adam Lang, obviously he was regressing, but we need a better player than what has gone. And we need a player that can challenge those 2 central defenders that we got at the moment, because Helander isn't getting a look in for whatever reason. But if, God forbid, something happens to one of those 2 players, we can't just say, well, Helander can come in. No, we need someone that could say, well, Helander's going to fight for that spot. Do you get what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
And this can't be just a signing that's like, oh, till the end of the season. Okay, if it's till the end of the season, fine. But at least say it's only a 6-month contract, whatever it is. Or if you're going to bring in a player like they're going to bring in that kid who failed his medical, needs to be a long term. Needs to be a long term. I'm sorry. Sorry.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with you still. Definitely, it would have been good if we had another central defender, especially from the moment that Lang left. We should get a replacement, because at the end of the day, now we only have Koulibaly, Nicola, and Helander. So we definitely need a player in that position. And preferably, he won't be a left central defender. We need someone that can play on Koulibaly's side, because obviously that's where we don't have a player to replace Koulibaly on his side. So it's not just finding a central defender, but finding a central defender that can play in the specific side. Also, I would like to point out that many people don't realize something. Lang was fourth choice when he left the club. Like it or not, from the players, it seems like Lang was the fourth choice. Our main central defenders are Koulibaly and Nicolas. So you would have to expect that the player that will be willing to come to Omonia for that position would know that, guy, you're gonna come. You're coming as central defender, but you're not gonna be first spot. You have to fight to get that. So you better be prepared that you're gonna be sitting on the bench. So the player that will be coming for that position should have that in mind. He's not going to be first choice. And I don't know many first choices in January that would take that.
Yeah. You're right, 100%. However, I'm going to flip it a little bit, because I'm going to play bad cop a little bit now.
Please, yeah.
And I will say this until I'm blue in the face. I do not agree with signing players in January. And I'll tell you why. Because you have the whole of the summer to prepare for the whole season. The whole summer. We're talking May, June, July, August. Yeah, because the window closes, end of August, yeah? Something like that. Right? So you can give them that extra month's grace. You need to have a squad ready for the whole season. Now, the reason why I say I don't agree with signing players in January, because you sign a player in January if you're desperate. You should not be, unless you've got injuries, unless you've got, outgoings, players being sold, or they don't want to play, or whatever, that's when you sign players. But we should not be talking about Metagrafes on the 30th of January. We should not be talking about it. We should be saying we've got 4 months left to the end of the season. Our squad is still looking good. All right, there are still players that haven't got minutes, that have been, or maybe too many players have been playing too many minutes, and we need to rotate a little bit more. But we shouldn't be talking about, we need a central defender, we need a striker, we shouldn't be talking about it. And that is bad planning. That is bad planning. That is bad preparation. And this reminds me of the January before Berg got sacked, because Berg got sacked in the February, when we signed Lovera and Matas, and it's the same again.
Yeah.
It's the same again. So they don't learn their lessons. And this is why fans are now getting fed up with it. And I can agree with the fans in this case. I can agree with the fans that are angry. Because again, beginning of the season, and I'm sorry to do this again, beginning of the season, 11,500 season tickets, and people are going to roll their eyes, we keep it. Yes, because fans pay to be entertained, and because they expect to see results. And while you can't have both, you got to have something else to compensate for that. And to see the way that this season has panned out. Look, we knew that Dambraskas wasn't going to last. We called it from when he joined the club. Okay, we called it. You could say it was just us being a little bit, I don't know, satirical, but we saw it coming. And we saw Yannis stepping in. Fine. But if we saw it coming, then I'm pretty certain they would have envisaged it possibly happening, which meant that if they had a feeling that it might happen, you need to have a plan B. And they haven't had a plan B. They knew Simic's contract was up. They knew it was up. So either renew it or have a plan.
Make some money out of it.
Yeah, or have a plan to bring in a replacement. Do you think Ingebrigtsen was top of their list to bring in?
Definitely not.
Well, there you go. There you go. Sure. I don't want to talk about that player that they signed from Israel. I don't want to talk about him.
No.
Yeah, that was another fuck up. That was a major fuck up. And by doing that, okay, forget his history. Forget his history. Yeah. The way that the whole thing happened and with him leaving before the window officially opened, right? Again, this is what fans see, okay? And look, you've got so many fans that are quite irrational, but even the irrational ones, with their responses to that particular move, they're bang on.
But you know, still, yeah, you're right. They're bang on, but there were the voices that were coming out in the summer when this specific player joined Omonia.
Oh, I know.
He's going to be leaving by Christmas. I didn't see anyone complaining back then.
I know.
Tu perderás. Te valen gol Juventus. So what?
As I said on Tell the Truth and Shame the Devil, it doesn't matter if he scored against Juventus. It doesn't matter.
Joalambia valen gol Manchester.
So, again, like, right, as I said, we do have some irrational supporters, but I'd like to think that now, and you know what, again, I hate to bring this up, but when I look at other Omonia content and I see the comments from people absolutely drilling people left, right, and center, I'm thinking, are you taking it out on the people that are talking, or are you just so, you actually finally see it. You finally see the nonsense.
I've got my opinion on that.
Well, okay,
it's not going to be liked. Yeah. So
well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't, because I'm seeing a lot of infighting as well now, which is quite comical. But yeah, mate, listen. I wrote off the season ages ago, right? I wrote it off.
Yes. Yeah.
And perhaps I was wrong to do it, but at the same time, the more things like this occur, the more vindicated I feel. And it's not like, I told you so. It's like, I told you so. If I can see it, then I'm pretty certain other people can see it, and people are opening their eyes more and it's a shame. It really is a shame, because we had high hopes for the season. Had high hopes. And I don't think anyone here could say that they expected us to be in this position just over midway through the season. Honestly, I had a feeling we'd finish fifth, right? But I didn't expect it to be such a... It's just repetition. I didn't expect it to be a carbon copy of previous seasons.
I understand what you're saying, but I want to ask you a question here.
Yes.
Weren't we saying, actually, from the beginning, before the season started, okay, that at least 2 of the 3 teams that are above us, we were expecting them to go for the championship?
Yeah, for sure.
So from the moment that we already felt it ourselves, let's put it that way, that we felt it ourselves, that Buffos and Aris would go for the championship, and you're there, you can't say that we're really that far off.
Well, we're 10 points behind Buffalo. Is it 10?
Yeah, I mean, okay, we're 10 points behind Buffalo. I agree with you. They've got a better team than us. But at the same time, we knew that they would be there. It's not like it's a surprise that they're there.
So I'm going to throw this back at you then. When you said we knew that there were 2 teams that were going to be fighting for the championship.
Yes.
And it's a rhetorical question, but it's just for conversational purposes. Why do you think we all felt that both of those teams would be up there?
Because of the players that they brought in the team and the structure that they have in the team.
Ding.
Yes. Well, I didn't say anything different.
No. But what I'm saying is, right? I'm again, it's therapy. You just let it out. Let it out. That's what therapy is about. Even if it is stating the fucking obvious, it's let it out. And once again, we are sitting here looking at two teams that don't have a fan base like ours, that don't have the history like ours. They don't have the I was going to say they don't have the pool, but they do now. Oh, they fucking well do, right? So why are we sitting here still asking the question about our club?
I'll answer straight away.
Where is our strategy? Where is our strategy?
The same way that they don't have what you said that we have. Those teams also do not have the peer pressure.
Oh, you mean from the supporters, yeah?
Yes. Accept it or not is your choice, but it's a fact that teams with a crowd behind them, the crowd plays a significant reason on many things that have to do with the team. Either it has to do with the presence in the pitch, either it has to do with the decisions of the management, either it has to do with the decisions about coaches staying or leaving. It's a fact that having a big fan base behind the name of a team influences decisions and actions, both of the team and the management of the team.
I'm going to give you a Djokovic return right now. I'll give you a Djokovic return. You're right. 100%. The fans do play a part, and they do have a lot of influence. However, Buffalo, who only have 4,000 or 5,000 supporters, right? They were that team that sacked managers.
Yes.
Cameron Toshak, Milanic, Konstantin, even Salgado came in twice. Anyway, that Mikalenko, whatever his name is. And then you've got Carcedo. And at some point, they turned around and said, right, we're going to stop this hiring and firing, and we're going to stick to him. And last season, they went through a very rough patch. And they finished where in the league? 5th?
Oh, yeah, αυτό πήγαν Ευρώπη, ρε. Αλλά με το κύπελλο που πήγαν Ευρώπη...
They finished 5th.
And then
We finished 3rd.
Ήταν αυτή η πέμπτη.
Aris finished 4th. They finished 5th.
Okay, 5th. Yeah.
Right? And even if they didn't win the cup, they would not have sacked him. Why?
No.
Because irrespective of the amount of money that they spent, irrespective of their expectations, they saw a strategy slowly evolving, and they were willing to give it time. Because don't forget, even though they don't have the fans, they still had other teams' fans saying, well, you got all that money, you spent all that money, when are you going to win something? We were saying it, when are you going to win something? You got all that money, you've been bringing all the...
Γιατί εσέναν κόφτησε να μπουν να πει οποιοσδήποτε που άλλη την ομάδα για τη δική σου την ομάδα.
It plays a big part. Trust me, it plays a big part.
The management cares about the fans of their own team. They don't care what an Apollonista fan is going to say, what an Orthosiati fan is going to say, what an Apoelista fan is going to say. Why? You think that if I told Petridi, he would be convinced by my saying? Of course not.
He would, if there was a lot of people. Listen, if there were, let's say, 1,000 Apoel fans, 1,000 Omonia fans, 1,000 Apollon fans, 1,000 Orthosi fans, all responding on Buffalo social media saying, haha, you're shit, you lost, you spent all that money, this and that. You think Dubov and Lomakin ain't going to get pissed off? You think their social media team are going to be reported? Because that's what social media teams do. They look at all the statistics, they look at all the comments, and then they should be doing a weekly or a daily report. But of course, bro, look at all. Okay, again, it might be a bad example, but I'm using it because I'm in the UK. Look at all of these fan channels for Man United and Arsenal and this Arsenal fan TV. People watch Arsenal fan TV to see them losing their shit. But Arsenal obviously pay attention to what happens on Arsenal fan TV because they're now working alongside them. So clubs these days, pardon me, forward-thinking clubs like your Buffalo, of course they pay attention to the Beribexim. Of course they do. And obviously, when you got Cypriot owners, now this is sorry to cut you. When you got Cypriot owners whose egos are out here, you really think it's not going to bother them? Malaga, it bothers our own club when we say one little thing on this fucking show. Of course, it's going to bother them when other fans take the piss. I'm telling you.
What's the difference? You said it yourself a few seconds ago. The clubs that have Cypriot owners, they don't. So they don't give a shit about the Cypriots.
I bet they do.
I think they don't. I beg to differ. If I was Dubov and still was saying, you got all this money and you can't get anything, you know what I was saying? Because to kami don't malaga nas po. Push to English doon na mo BMN. Ay magara very but tetna kita misamo jengala.
Look, if one person says it wouldn't, but if it was 10,000,
I'm using you as an example. We don't have the millions. He's not going to be 10,000.
Pedro, it's like I keep telling people, right?
That's the Cyprus standards. Don't find thousands and thousands out of thin air. If we had thousands and thousands, this pod would have had 20,000 subscribers.
But what I'm saying is, okay, listen, but what I'm saying is, right, I said 1,000 Omonia fans. Well, we don't have 1,000 Omonia fans.
You
got 11,000 seasons ago. So that's 10% of them.
1,000 Omonia fans are not going to go and make fun of Pafos for not winning.
Well, not directly, but listen, there's fan pages. Bro, trust me.
No, that's okay.
Trust me. And do you know what? That Dubov, no disrespect, is probably sitting there thinking, seeing all these messages because he speaks English or whatever. He's probably sitting there, who are these freaking? I'm going to teach him a lesson. I'm going to teach him a lesson. So I'm going to bring in Orsic. I'm going to bring in this one. I'm going to bring in that one. I'm not saying he's doing it. I'm not saying he's doing it to respond. But what I'm saying is that, well, I can do it. So I'm going to do it. I want my team to progress. I want to get better. I don't know. Maybe it's just my way of thinking. Maybe I'm completely off base here. But I still think egos are massive with people with money, man. Massive.
Well,
Malaga, I sent a message to the former AL vice president saying, Ray, is it true that you've gone? And you responded, Galimera. So, of course, fucking egos hurt.
Okay, I agree. But if there's some team that has been hurt by ego, that's us. Because ego...
It should be.
Because ego, you don't understand where I'm going to go with this. Because ego is what brought us to an economic collapse. Ego is what brought us to the point of almost locking the door.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there are egos and egos. The point is how you handle the ego. Our ego fucked us. And it wasn't Pedro's ego or Stealth's ego. It was one person's ego. The one that had the money.
Right. Exactly. But then you have people with money that actually don't know how to run a football club. And they use it as a political weapon. You can't do that.
I don't know.
No, but, okay, we'll just leave it at that. Let's leave it at that.
At the same time, because we're saying that because I'm again going to take it as an example. Quando c'è o αυτό που μας έκανε στρέψεν οικονομικά ήταν όλη μέρα μες στα γήπεδα και έπαιζε center for Estelmo. No, he wasn't. He was a bricklayer, for God's sakes. Να μην λαλούμε μαλαγία, να ανοίγουμε το στόμα και να λέμε ότι μαλαγία αυτή που μέσα. Let's be real.
But the thing is, you're dredging up something that happened fucking how many fucking years ago? How long? 7, 8. Whoever long it is.
Parabano.
But what I'm saying
the point is the result of the ego. That's where I wanted to go.
Right. But what I'm saying to you is, I think my personal opinion is that right now we're at a stage where there's a lot of questions. Okay, there's a lot of questions, and there's rarely any answers or any transparent answers. Right? Anything that can make people feel okay, they're trying something different. Okay, they're trying to fix things. I think that's why people are getting more and more angry and agitated. And this is why we're doing this therapy session, because we want people to come on and tell us how they feel.
Yeah.
You don't even have to have your camera on. You can have it like a radio station. Just have your
black screen
like Pedro used to do back in the day. And then and we're here. Let's get some comments, bro. Let's get some comments. Okay. Right now, he's the only choice that makes sense. Well, this is the thing. Like, what? Okay, Pedro. Listen, we've spoken about this time and time again, but again, it's therapy. So let's just do this, right? What is your ideal scenario about a manager, a head coach coming in? What's your ideal scenario?
Okay. Actually, to be honest, I was thinking about a conversation we were having before Christmas today still. I was thinking about it today. And remember at some point before Christmas time, I don't remember if it was one game or two games before the Christmas break, I said to you that I believed that a coach was going to come in by the end of the year, 2024, and that we would have a new coach with the new year.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, that didn't happen. But now, looking at how far it has progressed, και πόσο καιρός επέρασε από τότε, γιατί τώρα κλείσαμε σχεδόν 3 μήνες χωρίς προπονητή. The time that is left now, I think I don't want to coach. With the time remaining in the championship and the games to be played, I don't want to coach now. I would rather Giannis stays there until the end of the season. Whatever happens, happens. And I really think that since so much time has passed, τώρα αύριο είναι Φεβράρης ήδη ρε φίλε. Νιόβρης, Δεκέμβρης, Γενάρης, 3 μήνες. Πότε να έρθει προπονητής, πότε να το μάθουν οι παίχτες, αν θέλει να αλλάξει και σύστημα που παίζει, when are the players going to be familiarized with the new playing style? It's a huge gamble, and is not a roulette of red and black situation. It's not a 50-50. I think the odds are against us. It's not even a 50-50 draw, I think. So at this point in time, I think we should not bring a new coach.
Okay, so let's flip it a little bit. Let's mix it up a little bit, yeah? Would you be happy if we did something similar like we did with Dambrauskas? We appoint him, let's say, March, but he's starting in July, for example. Would you accept that?
The only way I would accept that is if the coach was in Cyprus from the moment that he's hired, watching every game, even sitting at the bench as a simple observer, talking throughout the games with Giannis. But I wouldn't expect hiring a coach and having him show up one time to see a game in Cyprus and then come back in the summer. No, that I would not accept.
Well, this is the thing, because this guy that was supposed to join us, he came to Cyprus, got a call from Turkey, and he fucked off. So we don't know if he came to sign an agreement to join now or join in the summer. So again, we don't know. And there's been nothing from the club either. Nothing from the club.
I want to go there too.
Yep.
As far as I'm concerned, okay, I don't want the club to be giving the fans details about any single little thing that they do. That is wrong. But το δικό μας η δική μας πληροφόρηση gets 0 out of 10. Yeah, like I said, I don't expect them to tell me every single thing that they do, every little step that they make, every conversation that they have, but give some information to the people. This dry spell from the communication team of our club is for the shit. It gets a 0 for me. Big fat 0. They don't even get a 1.
But I think that's coming from the very top.
I don't know where
I
it's
think it's
coming
coming
from. I'm talking about the communication.
No, but what I'm saying is I think they've been instructed from the very top not to say anything because this is what he does.
I can't listen. I can't know.
My opinion.
Yeah. I can't know if it's if it's from the top, if it's instructions, if it's not. I'm saying what I'm expecting from my communication team. Who is handling it and gets his instructions from who? I don't know. It's not my job to know. I just want the communication out to the fans. Like I said, it's not like I'm expecting everything. It's wrong to tell the fans every single thing that there is to be said, but not non-existent.
But
Non-existent just creates problems.
It wouldn't surprise me if the communications team or someone has been instructing other Omonia news outlets not to say certain things or asking them not to say things or even to say certain things because that's how the media works. Yeah. That's exactly how it works. Okay, access is currency. But anyway, George says, that's the point, bro. He's a coward. He's playing safe. Why isn't he taking responsibility as a coach? George, I'm going to ask you this question. When you say, why isn't him taking responsibility as a coach, what do you mean by that? When you say responsibility for what? I want to understand what people are saying. This is why it's important to have these conversations because I get what you're saying. You know, he's a coward. Okay. He's a coward because he plays a negative style of football. But when you think about it, with the exception of the derby games, we don't sit back. We try to break things down. I don't think he's a coward per se. I just think that he maybe struggles to find a solution to break down low blocks, hence the Paralimni game where we're playing the ball wide. If you look at the comparison between Paralimni and AEL, for example, like because they were the last two games, similar systems, right? But the fact is, AEL were trying to force us out wide, but their players weren't doing enough work. They weren't running enough. They weren't closing the avenues to stop us from playing the ball out wide, to force us to play the ball out wide. So we had the options to go out wide, and we had the options to go through the middle because their midfielders weren't doing the basics. But with Paralimni, like for example, Ganadi, the son of the coach, he was doing the defensive midfield work, but he's also tracking runners. So again, it's the basics. So I'm not saying that he's a coward per se, because there have been some games where I'm like, bro, what are you doing? These are there for the taking. Stop being so, you know, I wouldn't say pragmatic. I'd say just so like negative with things, right? Get someone on the ball, on the pitch that can create, that is quick, because this is what we want. We want quick football. We want the ball moved quicker, because if you don't move the ball quicker, if the players don't move, you can't create openings, right? But I just think this is how he knows. This is what he knows, and this is what he's been doing for a long time. And we saw it last season, a variation of the 4-1-4-1. It's like a 4-5-1 last season, right? So I don't think he's a coward. I just think that, just like Dambrauskas, we struggle to break down teams with a low block. Now, is that a coaching problem, or does that become a personnel problem? That's for you. You can answer that one, Bedro, if you want to give it a go, because I still can't find the answer to that. I still don't know.
Actually, I don't agree with you that we sat back in derbies, because if I look at the Nochoftes derby, we definitely didn't sit back.
No, but they were there for the taking, bro. Come on.
If I look at the Aboel derby, first half, okay, we definitely didn't sit back.
First 20 minutes, we didn't.
Yeah. If I look at the Ari game, it was a 50-50. You didn't sit back.
Second half.
Yeah, but it was a 60-40. I said 60-40 second half and total domination first half from us.
Okay.
If I look, what else do we have? Okay, Buffos, we did sit back. It was his first game sitting at the bench. Buffos, we didn't create much. We just made one chance and we won, basically, against Buffalo, which was his first game. With Hayek, what did we do? We didn't sit back. I don't know if I agree with you that we sat back still.
Okay. Listen, I'm not going to argue. I'm just here to talk and listen.
Yeah, we're just talking.
Just
Yeah.
here to talk and listen. Fine. Okay, no problem. So, George, just explain it. I don't know if you've done it because I'm still bringing up question from George, the Nochoftes fan. If Anastasio wins the cup and gets third place, will he be given the job? Oof.
No, I don't want him in the job.
Okay.
I already said my piece. I want a new coach to come in the summer. I want Yanni to stick around, and yeah.
Okay. Right. On to the next one. We keep on dropping points with weaker opponents. The forever problem that remains unsolved. Exactly. You just responded to your own statement, which you're bang on. The problem that we've had for a long time is we've dropped points against the weaker opponents, and this is something that we can say happened under Berg in the season we won the league when we drew with Baralimni, and there was that run of games where we didn't score a goal and we struggled to beat Baralimni away from home. I think Baralimni at home was when Jordi missed the penalty, wasn't it? The last minute. I'm pretty certain it was that game.
Yeah.
Season after we lost to Ethnigor. We lost to Grida away from home under Lennon. You know, against with Yannick. Who do we struggle against? I'm just trying to think which small teams, because we only lost twice under him in the league, and there was Nochoftes and Abuel. But you get what I'm saying. So you're right, George. It is an unsolved problem, but is that more to do with ability or mentality? I think it's more of mentality, because how can you beat, your Abuels, your Aris? How can you beat them and then show up against the lesser opponents? Is it because they work harder than you? Well, working hard is a default setting. It's up here. It is fully up here, and that's the other reason why I would say give him the job to the end of the season at least, and then maybe if we get something out of this season, give it to him full time, because he seems to be getting something out of these players. I don't know how he does it. Because like I said, I sit here and I'm thinking, I'm not really entertained by this football. I'm actually bored with it. But is it because he's actually playing to our strengths that we're actually getting results? And the stats don't lie. We can't, I just showed it before. You can't argue. I mean, we say we want to win games. We win games and we still complain.
We can't.
It's a results industry. Here's a question. Here's another one which I didn't ask at the beginning, right? Let's say we brought in a head coach straight after Dambrauskas, and he got those results that Yanni has got. Would people still be calling for his head?
That is a question.
Forget the performance, because we're in the results industry now, yeah? If we go on to win the cup, or if let's say, stupid hypothetical here, but let's say we, by some miracle, we go on to win the league, right? Would there be a little asterisk next to our name saying, well, they won the league, but they played boring football and fans weren't entertained? No. You win the league because you're the best team. So, as I said, this is another question for the viewers. Therapy here. If we replace Dambrauskas with another coach, and he got, at this point of the season, he got the same results, same performances that Yanni has got so far, would anyone be complaining?
I know I wouldn't.
Just when you think you've got all the answers, I change the question. I'm just saying. I'm just trying to think logically now. I'm not using the emotional side of things. I'm just saying, right, this is what I see statistically. This is what I see when you think of the bigger picture. I'm not sticking up for anyone. I'm just putting it out there for people to try and have a conversation about this, because, again, it's been snowballing out of control. And I don't like seeing fans argue with each other, because everyone has an opinion and everyone's entitled to their own opinion. My opinion doesn't matter more than Pedro's and vice versa, right? But at the same time, we need to be a little bit balanced at this stage.
We need to be fair. Fair.
Right. Anyway. Right. Now, this gentleman has been very active lately. Right? So I'm going to bring it up because, again, everyone's entitled to their opinions, and whether it be aggressive or whatever, let's just do it. The way I saw Skata Simara, we're the worst team out the top 5, and Skamastavru still doesn't give an F, only wants to save money. Okay, now we're the worst team out of the top 5. So the 5 teams are, or including them, he includes them, doesn't he? Because they're in the top 5.
No.
They're in the top 5. Okay, so now Mr. A, I don't know your full name, but I can call him Mr.
Andonis,
A.
and Andonis.
Andonis, yeah, Andonis.
Yeah,
okay, Andoni. Yeah. What did you see tonight about Upwell that makes us the worst team? Because I didn't watch the game. I only watched the penalty shootouts, right? And as for Babastavro only wanting to save money, again, I need to know why you feel this way. Again, I'm not criticizing you. You got your opinion, bro, and hats off to you for being open and honest about it. But what is it that makes you feel that he just wants to save money? I'll be real with you. I personally think, again, this is my opinion, I personally think he'll be happy with just finishing 3rd and not winning a trophy in his mind, because you're qualifying for Europe and they're reducing the debt siga, right? I'm not saying that trophies don't matter to him, but in his mind, I think qualifying for Europe, you've got that thing. So even if we finish 3rd and don't win anything, it's going to be somewhat dressed up as it's still been a successful season because of this. But that's fine. Again, that's my opinion. I could be wrong. That's fine. And he's put another one here saying, you're acting, we don't need a Vasigo central defender.
I think he didn't hear what we were saying, because obviously we talked about those. So I'm not going to say anything else.
I will say this. We said that we need a central defender. I think we've done that. Central midfielder, bro. I don't know how long you've been watching the show, but at the beginning of the season, I said we need a central midfielder, a holding midfielder, and people saying to me, "No, we don't need." So I said it in the summer. And centre forward, well, clearly it's not working with those 2 strikers. One of them isn't consistent enough, and the other one, just his confidence is shot because of all the shit that's been happening recently. So I still think we do need a centre forward. But again, saying this for a while. Anyway, Yannick came on, he disappeared. Where's he gone?
Hey,
Who's coming out? Who's coming tomorrow? Who's coming tomorrow? Did Macaulay really fail medical, or is it just pressure from us to Malmo to drop the price? Well, look,
neither of the two.
From what I've been told, he failed a medical. That's all I know. That's all I know. Right, Mr. A again. Only way a player comes in is if we find someone who's cheaper than those who leave. And you're still wondering what's wrong with this shit club. Well, see, here's the thing, bro. Only way a player comes in is if we find someone who's cheaper than those who leave. Well, this is the thing. Their official line, make of it what you want, is when a player leaves, we need to bring in another player, or we will bring in another player. Well, the proof is in the pudding, and 3 players have gone and only 1 has come in. So that's nonsense. But it's only nonsense when the window is officially shut and you can't sign any more players. Because if they do bring in 2 more players, or at least 1 more player, central defender, then we can only argue about the quality and the timing. Because they've done what they said that they were going to do. Now, as for being cheaper than those who leave, again, we don't know how much Simic was on at Omonoia. We don't know how much Ingebrigtsen is on. Again, these things, for some reason in Cyprus, they don't talk about these things. In the Premier League, they'll tell us how much I play, but in Cyprus, you don't know. So again, we don't know. Huh?
I'm gonna ask something else.
Okay.
Attached to this question. How many? Because in my opinion, the January window, it's a bullshit window. You don't find the players that can support the team. For second choices, for me, January is for second choices on the bench in case of emergency that you need to throw in a player, not to sub a main team player with a guy that you're going to bring in January. That's January transfers for me. He's not for a basic player. So how much money would you expect someone would want to spend in a January window when you should have your main team organized at this point in January, and the rest of your players are for subs. How much money will you spend? I will go and bring a €1 million player to have him on the bench, or would I go to bring a 1 million player, which you won't find now? I believe a 1 million player. Εκτός αν τον έβρεις που το σουηδικό, νορβηγικό, ποσίπλευρες, φινλανδικό πρωτάθλημα, που τέλειωσε το πρωτάθλημα τους τώρα το Γενάρη, and they might have good enough players to, of the rank of the million and whatever, expensive players to be ready to get in and fight for your team. Do you think that you will get a player from Italy now? No. Would you get a player from Spain now? No. Germany now? No. I think if you wanted to spend the 1 million, you would get him from the cold countries leagues at the moment.
If you're going to get a player from Germany, for example, you're going to get a player from Germany that hasn't played in months, like I
exactly
from Heidenheim. Yeah. He hasn't played in months. You know,
exactly what I'm saying, Rafili.
I'll be straight with you because I'm always straight. Today, I was sent a profile for a French attacking midfielder, 21 years old. He's been in Strasbourg's B team, right? He only wants about $3,000 a month, right? Quality player. Don't get me wrong. Great on the eye, great to watch. Similar to Musialowski in that kind of position, right? But he's just come back from an ACL, so he hasn't played in months. Okay, so we don't know what he's actually like. So I'm not going to send him to anyone. It's a waste of fucking time. Yeah. So are we going to be looking in the market for players that are fully fit, that are in form, or they're going to cost money because they're playing for their team? Are we going to look for a player that hasn't played in 6 months? Well, we don't know what their condition is. Are we going to sign a player that is a free transfer and they've just come back from an ACL and you don't know what you're going to get? Are we going to do what we did with Shraddy? Because he just come back from an ACL and he hadn't been played for 6 months. And we saw how that ended. So again, you know, I don't think they're signing players for the short-term dollar. I don't think they are. But at the same time, they're not quick about the signings. And that is what people are pissed off about. When Zion left, they should have had someone ready on the 1st of January to say, right, he's gone, but he's coming in. That's what they should have done. When Lang was about to leave, they should have said, right, we've got someone ready to come in. Because that would have saved them so much grief. But Bale, what they're doing is, we know better than everyone. They're just, you know, Gibre, and they just want to shout. They'll get, you know, it's Berassi. No, it's just no. Because this is why people are getting frustrated. Because they're having their balls played with. And that's the fundamental thing. And as you said before, the communications and the lack of transparency. You can't run a football club like this. You look at, again, bad example. You look at Amorim at Man United. He comes out every press conference. He said his players were fucking shit the other day. He said this is the worst Man United thing. Yeah. But you know what? That gained him respect. Why? Because he was open about it. But Sting Gibber, and I've noticed this, a lot of coaches do this. Sacha the other day, before he got sacked, he was like, I'm relying on Tchaikovsky. He's 38 years old. That's what fans want to hear. But it's like, oh, no. We need to keep them on a fucking lead like they're dogs, right? And hit them with a fucking xylo.
If it's what I said to you, it's peer pressure from the fans. Pathos doesn't have that. Aris doesn't have that.
No, I think what it is, because over the past few years, all they've seen on Facebook and Instagram are OmoniaFans getting angry. They're probably thinking, well, if they behave like children, we'll treat them like children.
Well,
anyway, well, look, our friend is here, our Fortnite friend.
Are
you ready? If you're ready, nod your head. He's ready. Edon. Long time no see, brother.
Long time no see. Έπρεπε να ξαναδούμε, μην πω να μην είναι.
Βαρέθηκα τον Μωρία, γι' αυτό που σε πασχήμω φάτσα.
Τσικούκλο, ρε, άδερνε. Γέρασε με την ομάδα. Γέρασε με.
Πρόσεχε, ρε, πρόσεχε. Είναι το διάνυ που σου τραβάει, είναι κάπου αυτή και λέμε που σε γέρασε.
Μπορεί. That's right. This is a
Έλα, bro,
trend.
πέ μας.
That's
Πέ μας.
Yeah, anyway.
There are some fundamental issues with this team. Like,
Some.
first of all, the reflexes, as you quite rightly said, it's taking so long to move ahead. It's taking so long to proceed because, as you said about Zion and Lang, they knew that they were going to go. Τι έκανες? Τι έκανες? Δεύτερο, although that I may have said also some few bad things about this guy that they brought in, the problem is not the guy. The problem is the whole situation, and the guy takes the fault, because we are quickly to react, but because we are reacting like this because we are fed up. We are fed up with them. And the third of all, that really bothers me, personally at least, is that I don't have a problem with Anastasia. He's a medium to good coach. That's it. But the thing that pisses me off is the transparency that they don't have the balls to come out and say, hey, we're going to keep Anastasia until the end of the season and stop with these announcements and these informations that they're throwing to the media that we are really close to a coach and shit like this. Rema, in less than a month, in a month actually, you're going into playoffs. Who you're going to bring now and who's going to be ready? So at least if you decided that you're going to stay with Anastasia, let the people know. This is the three things that really pisses me off. Don't mind the fact that the last 4 years, especially in January, they fucked it up. Because we're expecting them in January to not do any serious move or whatever. But these things all together are making people angry. Me also.
Φίλε, ερώτηση, right? If this was the first Yanari that they were doing this, would people be angry?
They would, but they wouldn't be in the same volume that they are right now.
Because then any πρώτη φορά. Do you know what I mean? It's not the first time they've done this.
This is
And I think
what
that's
I'm saying.
why. I think that's why. That's the snowball effect.
Yeah, because it's January after January after January after January. And this is what I was telling them to the guys in Discord earlier, like around the evening, what I was saying to them that, like certain boys, we shall keep Anastasia. I don't mind with him. We had a pretty good run last year. Probably we're going to have a similar kind of way run this year, probably. But this is what pisses me off is that they don't have the balls to come and tell us we're going to stick with this guy. Let us know, let him know, let the people know. Be transparent about it, because we have seen that Papastavros stepping in, we were expecting something different from the things of the past. This is what I'm seeing. Probably I'm wrong. Maybe I'm right. That's my
Petra,
opinion.
what do you think? What do you think?
Εγώ
What do you
νομίζω
think,
ότι ο
Petra?
Γιάννης μπορεί να κοιτάξει νόβιτσα.
Yeah, but really not. This is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that nothing changed.
Listen, εγώ νομίζω ότι δεν τώρα που πάει κάτι λάθος με το επικοινωνιακό τμήμα της Ομόνοιας, δεν είναι κάτι φετινό, είναι που πέρσι που αρκέψε. Και είναι που πέρσι που μου άρεσκε. Απλά η διαφορά ποια είναι που το πέρσι στο φέτος, ότι πέρσι αν μας εσύναν και κανέναν τυρούιν έξω να φάμε, φέτος έκαναν νηστικούς, με ψουμί, με τυρί, με νερό, με τίποτε. Μα μόνο να φύγεις στο άλλο νηστικό, να έχεις επανάσταση. You're going to have a rebellion if you let the people hungry. The villages will go on a rampage. And the villages will bring you down. And you're going to be off with your head. That's the way it works. Πρέπει να το σκεφτούν πολλά το πράγμα. Επικοινωνιακά φέτος είμαστε ένα μηδέ. Είπα σου, ούτε 1 point, I don't give them. It's a 0.
Επικοινωνιακά, we are not zero. With the things that really matters, we are the zero.
Ναι ρε
Because
φίλε,
with the rest of the things, every 2 days. This is what Stella thought said it like 3 days ago. We made more announcements in January. From what? From how many players we even checked out. Έγινε. Sorry, boys. Έγινε. Κάτι πάει λάθος. Ή ίσως κάτι πάει σωστά για εκείνους. Και θεωρούμε εμείς λάθος.
Yeah, bro, do you know what άλλο? Eventually, fans get bored of hearing, you know, this club has done this and this. Okay, we know that the referees have got something against us. We know that GOP has something against us. But eventually, you're going to turn around and say to him, are you using this as an excuse for the shit that's happening on the pitch?
Yeah.
For the fact that we're 10 points behind Arsenal? Again, it's normal for people to feel this way because, like you said before, Papa Stavro led us to believe things wouldn't be the same. Things would be better. Things would improve.
No.
Allah, as we keep saying on the podcast.
Just to remind you something, both of you, at the beginning of the season, Andreas Dimitriou came out and he said that this year there will be more transparency with the people of Omonia, that they will be doing more press conferences, and that there will be at least informing the Omonia fans on what is going on in Omonia at least monthly. I think since the day that Andrea Dimitriou said this, they did it one time, and that was it. For me, επικοινωνιακά, big fat 0. Τι άλλο να πω?
Well, better. What I see what they've been trying to do in the sense that they're trying to galvanize the supporters to make them more unified. To say, well, everyone's against us, and I think they've taken the leaf out of them lot's book. That's what they're trying to do. But see, the fundamental difference is this. You have to give something to the fans to appease them. Yeah. It might not have to be results, but when you're signing players and you're letting them go a few months later, that tells me that there's something strange going on. When you're signing players with a lot of potential and you're not giving them 5 minutes here, you know, you're playing them 10 minutes here and there, and then half an hour or whatever, you're not. There's a lot of shit that's been going on that fans are, and the thing is, it's a shame because we should be turning around saying, well, do you know what? Fuck GOP. We should be saying that. We should be saying fuck these referees. But it's come to a point where enough's enough. Every season, it's the same story. And at some point, it's the Khoriani, the Brovata, and that kind of shit. It's the same. It's the boy that cried wolf. Yeah. And that's why fans are getting pissed off now. So what you're doing, instead of galvanizing fans, you're turning them against you because you're not answering the questions that they want. We already know that there's corruption. We already know that the referees we already know this.
Actually, still, it's even
worse. Getting them pissed off.
It's even worse, guys, because you're not just turning fans against you. You're turning your own fans against each other. Because you've got also the group of fans that see it in a different view, let's say. And because of the different view that they have, they get in conflict with the people that have the other side of you. So the harm is double. Το πρόβλημα γίνεται διπλάσιο. Όχι απλά έγκαμνεις κάτι για να χαλαρώσεις τον κόσμο σου, να τον αφήκεις να πει έναν εντάξει, έμαθα και εγώ κάτι ρε κουμπάρε, ως παρατσί να δούμε να μου να γίνει. But this total silence, όχι απλά φέρνεις τον κόσμο μαζί σου, αλλά βάλεις και τον δικό σου τον κόσμο να τσακώνεται ο ένας με τον άλλο. Κανεί, ας πούμε.
Ναι ρε φίλε.
Εκουράστηκα να θωρώ ομονιάτες, να μαλώνω με ομονιάτες, γιατί ο ένας θέλει τον Αναστασίου, ο άλλος θέλει άλλον προπονητή, ο ένας θέλει να έρθει ο παίκτης των 3 εκατομμυρίων, ο άλλος λαλεί σκάσε και τούτοι που έχουμε είναι καλοί, ύστερα πετάσε το άλλος, μα ο άλλος έπιαν, ο άλλος λαλεί με στα τσίκια μαν έπιαν ο άλλος, είμαι χάπη με τους που έχω και πάει λέγοντας η κουβέντα. Μα γίνεται ρε παιδιά έτσι. Γίνεται. Δηλαδή...
Pedro, I don't live out there, obviously, but when has this ever happened?
What?
All the infighting with the supporters.
It started in the last 2 years, especially.
Before that?
It was always there, but it was not at this level. It has grown and grown since the split up of the team from Esomadio to Limited.
Όχι μόνο ρε Πέτρο.
Και αμέσκεψε το, ναι ρε φίλε, και πριν είχε, αλλά το πότε μου άκεψε, έτσι γερά πλέον, να έχει πιο δυνατόν conflict. Πάντα είχε conflict μεταξύ των οπαδών, σε όλες τις ομάδες. Αλλά στην ομάδα μας το πιο μεγάλο conflict άκεψε στη διάσπαση της ομάδας μεταξύ Σωματείου και Limited. Για κάποιο χρονικό διάστημα μετά υπήρχε μια σχετικά ήρεμη περίοδος, τα πρώτα 2 χρόνια, but especially the last 2 years, εγώ είπα 2. Αλλά ειδικά τα τελευταία 2 χρόνια, this conflict between fans is increasing and increasing and increasing and increasing. To be honest, I don't see where it's going to end. That is the most worrying part. That I can't see the end of it.
Because people are unsatisfied.
Μα πώς σου είπα ρε φίλε, εσύ είσαι unsatisfied, εγώ είμαι satisfied. Άντε τώρα κάτι σε βρετε. Χρησιμοποίησα τούτους τους όρους με μένα και εσένα επειδή είμαστε...
Ναι, δεν ξέρω.
Ο Στέλλας, πούμε, είναι η τρίτη ομάδα της παρέας. That he's not either satisfied or dissatisfied. He's somewhere in the middle. And what is he going to do for the person that is in the middle? Probably he's going to say, you know what? Fuck you, Petro. Fuck you, Yanni. I don't want to mingle with you guys. I don't want to have any association with you anymore. Fuck off. Leave me in my peace. Because I don't want to go against Petros and I don't want to go against Yannis. So I'm going to create my own group, stay in my own shell, and protect my own self. And I don't give a shit about anyone anymore, not even the team.
The thing is, Pedro, Iligrinare, I mean, look, I've been talking about this for a long time, but I honestly believe that this club has the potential to increase its value, its market, in terms of the fan base, to really tap into not just Cypriots within Cyprus, but also the Chalutka and people in the United States and Australia. I've gone through this before, right? And this is the one thing that has bothered me the most out of everything. Forget the results, forget the managerial changes, it's the PR around this club. It's like they only care about the short-termism. They don't think about the long-term damage that they're doing, not just with the managerial sackings and how they treat players. Because I said this before, players talk, right? And when you sack Rekdal and Ferreira and Lennon and Berg, you think they don't go back to their countries, and when they're asked by their friends or people within the game, what was it like at the club? Yeah, it was a nice club, but the people that are running it, fucking lunatics. Yeah?
8 managers in 5 years, Rester.
Come on. All right, we're not as bad as
you should not be taking as example the worst situation.
Δεν τους πιάνουμε για παράδειγμα, εν τούτον που εννοώ ρε φίλε.
Ναι, εννοώ. Ναι, καταλάβες πώς το εννοώ.
And I'm sorry to say this, the difference is, you ask anyone that doesn't know Cyprus football like we do, ask someone in London, for example, that watches football, but you say to them, give me one Cypriot team, they'll say Apoel. Why? Because of that Champions League thing. That one season. That one fucking season where they got to the quarterfinals. They know them. They know them. Right? So they don't need to do any more fucking marketing. But this club has to do it. And they have opportunities. They've had opportunities. Take it from someone that knows. They've had opportunities to seize that moment, to increase their market awareness, their brand awareness, to sell a few hundred extra shirts abroad, or to make the product a brand. They're a limited company, for fuck's sake. They should be doing it, but they haven't. And that has been to the detriment of the club, and it's been to the detriment of the supporters. Because if you don't increase your brand awareness in your market, no one knows who the fuck you are. So when Ingebrigtsen signs, I don't know anything about Omonoia, I just Googled them. But when you go to Buffalo, top of the league, well, they're signing a player from Watford. Why? Because they've got a relationship with Watford. Kvida's probably going to go there. That's how you do things. But this club, with this heritage, with this history, they sit on their hands and they look at what other people do on social media and they copy what they do and they go, oh, well, you know, this is just fine. Or they show a goal that's been disallowed. Oh, it's a great goal. What are you doing? You're mugging yourselves off. So again, perception, how it's perceived, how people see things. Do things the right way.
Short-term thinking.
Bravo. Bravo. But if you have a, I don't know, Creos of, say, 15 εκατομμύρια paradigma, how are you going to make up that money? Well, just by qualifying for Europe. You need to do something extra. Get revenue in from abroad, investors from abroad. I'll give you an example. Again, sorry to do this. But if Omonoia were to, say, collaborate with an academy in Nigeria, how about this? I'll give it, because recent history for me. If they were to collaborate with an academy in Nigeria to send players, 2 or 3 players every summer, whatever, for them to develop, what you can do, you can collaborate with them, and you've got 19 million people in, say, for example, Lagos. You can potentially bring in investors from there because they've got money. It isn't just like scams like people think it is. They've got money.
And then you can, on this thing that you said.
Maybe I'm just dumb.
I'll tell you what, you're not dumb, but I'll go to this recent summer. Ήρθα στην Ομόνια 3-4 μαυρούθκια που γίνε στις χώρες που ζει. Οι οπαδοί μας ήταν που πασί. What did our fans say?
Who are they?
Έφεραν μας τους αμπάκυρους πάλι. Το πήγαν πιάνουν τους πιο φτηνούς, να τους φέρουν στην Κύπρο, να τους βάλουμε στην Ομόνια. Scrooge Παπασταύρου. Oh, this, oh, that. Εν τούτον που εννοώ, ρε φίλε. I mean, I don't know how you can please this fan base anymore. I'm lost for words. And you're telling me that they'll go and cooperate with someone in Nigeria or Laos or Siberia or whatever.
No, but what I'm saying here, right, is this, again, we're going full circle here. Because again, it's the guy at the top that makes the decisions, right? If he was a football guy, he would turn around and say, do you know what? I don't give a shit what these people say because I've got a 3 to 5 year plan. And in the first 2 or 3 years, if we don't win anything, fine. But if we're seeing progress, that's all that matters. You need to ignore the noise. And he doesn't ignore the noise. That's the problem. He only ignores the noise when it suits him. Like you mentioned, Giancarlo, about the transparency, the lack of transparency. When it suits him, I'm not going to say nothing. But when it suits him, I'm going to put out a statement about John. I'm going to put out a statement about this. I'm going to write a letter to this. When it suits his agenda, when it suits his ego. He's not doing it for the betterment of the club. That's the fundamental difference from how I see it.
Okay. I think the Omonia fan is really difficult to please, man. I mean, I'm a diehard Omonia fan. Most of you guys know it already. But even me, I'm at wit's end. I'm at wit's end at the moment. I don't know how to handle this situation anymore.
No disrespect. No disrespect, right? Again, no disrespect. But prior to Omonia winning the league in 2021, when was the last time we won the league? 10, 11 years prior to that? When we won the cup the year after, when was the last time we won the cup? 10, 11 years before that?
Right. Yeah.
But it's still a fair period of time. It's between the time of you going through puberty to when you become a man, right? Yeah? Right? So what I'm saying is here, why should any one of us feel that we have the divine right to win something? Why can't we sit and say, if the coach says if the president says I'm bringing a sporting director and we have a strategy, 3 to 5 years, right? You're going to have to be patient for 2 years because I'm sticking with this coach. I'm sticking with this strategy. But if I see progress, you lot can't say shit. But he won't do that. Because what he does, he listens to the noise. He listens to what people around him say. And he just, that's how it seems to me. Maybe I'm wrong.
Wait a minute.
But that's just how it seems.
I think you're wrong, and I'll tell you what. First of all, when I said I'm at wit's end, I don't mean with the situation of the management and all that. I mean with the way things are going between fans.
Right. Okay. Now I understand. Now I understand. But see, here's the thing. The noise has got louder, as you quite rightly said earlier. As Giancarlo said, the noise is getting louder, right? But eventually that noise will calm down because time's a healer. And
the second thing that I was going to say is that you mentioned something because I don't forget that when Babastavro came and got the club, he said, I don't expect us to win anything in the first 4 years. And we accepted it. And I didn't have no issue, none whatsoever. Έβαλε ο Θιάλος το point του, and in the second year of his presence in Cyprus, we came first in the league, επειδή κάποιοι πεζεβέγγιες είναι οι μόνοι παγκόσμια που ανακηρύξαν πρωταθλήτρια. So, in his second year, we came first in the league, and the third year, we won the clear championship. That was his... Ευκύπου το Θιάλο, ρε φίλε. I don't know how else to say it. Ίσως δεν έπρεπε να τα κερδίσουμε.
Πέτρο μου, να σου πω ποια είναι η διαφορά. Για μένα, τον καιρό που ήρθε, ως τη χρονιά που έφυγε ο Μπέρκ, έβαλαν κάτω έναν πλάνο και προσπαθήσαν να το ακολουθήσουν. Που και αμέσως πέρα, κάθε χρόνο ακούεις ότι έχουμε έναν πλάνο, αλλά το πλάνο and proof out of the door in every 3 months. Τούτον πιστεύω. Γιατί λαλούμε, ξεκινούμε με πλάνο και έχουμε το πλάνο, έχουμε τον προπονητή, να κάνουμε τούτο, και στους 3 με 4 μήνες όλα γίνονται καπνός. Μας είπαν είχαν πλάνο με τον Λένον. Μας είπαν ότι είχαν πλάνο με τον Σοφρόν και τον Γιάνσεν. Εν έχει πλάνο. Τότε που το πιάσαμε, ίσως να υπήρχε πλάνο. Με τον Λάρκο και τον Μπέρκ, ίσως να υπήρχε πλάνο. Δεν ξέρουμε. Αλλά ακόμα και τούτο δεν το ξέρουμε.
Εγώ θέλω να μου πει η ομάδα μου έχω πλάνο. Τούτη η λέξη, να βγει η ομάδα μου να μου την πει, για μένα είναι ένα παράδεκτο πράγμα. Και να σου πω γιατί θεωρώ απαράδεκτο. Ναι, κατάλαβα. Θεωρώ το απαράδεκτο γιατί it's a given that you must have a plan. I don't expect you to tell me that you have a plan. It's a given that you should have a plan. So don't throw smoke in my eyes. Don't let me hear that bullshit. I expect it. It's a given.
Can I just add a caveat to that?
Yeah.
The thing is, if you expect your club to have a plan, which is you're well within your rights to feel that they should have a plan, and they should have a plan, right? You cannot take them serious when every 6 months or every 8 months you're changing personnel, managers, sporting directors. For me, the strongest plan we had was with JJ. That's my opinion. Based on his connections, based on his reputation, based on the players the majority of the players, in fact, all of the players that he signed in the summer, we were saying like, okay, with the exception of a couple, which Amor, for example, questionable, but all right, you can get one wrong. You get one wrong, get 1 or 2 wrong. But that plan changed because of whatever reason we've been led to believe, allegedly or not, because there's more than one side to the story. There's 3 sides. There's 2 sides and there's a truth. But I'll let you say something in just a moment, Pedro. My honest opinion, our president has been led down a dark fucking alley or a dark road with no fucking street lights by people that don't know football and people that haven't got the club's best interests at heart. And I think that Yanni has got a fucking job and a half to do to repair all of that. That's my opinion.
I agree.
If they're gonna let him repair that.
If, yeah.
Ρε Γιάννη μου, ανακέψουμε με όλα τα if και τα if και τα if και τα if, γάμο
Ρε
το
φίλε,
κέρατο.
είναι λογικό να αμφιβάλλεις.
Λογικό να αμφιβάλλει ρε φίλε, αλλά μπορώ να αμφιβάλλω και αν θα ξημερώσει αύριο ο ήλιος, γάμο το κέρατο μου.
But see, this, boys, the problem that we have is that if in the summer they say to us, right, we've got a new head coach coming in, we have a brand new strategy, we're going to stick to it. No one's going to believe them. Why? Boy who cried wolf.
Yeah.
Boy who cried wolf. But I will start to believe him if after a year we still have the same head coach and he still stays for another year and we're still... That's when I'll believe him. That's 2 years. That's 2 years.
Anyway,
And we know
boys,
the story.
I'm gonna jump out. I just wanted
bro.
to say hi. Sorry for the
Thank you for
Γεια σου ρε
coming.
κέλλεγι.
love and patience. Και
Εγώ
δε,
σε αγαπώ.
θέλουμε μεταγραφές,
Εγώ
θέλουμε
σε αγαπώ.
προπονητή.
Head on.
θέλουμε
He's
τίποτε.
throwing that grenade in before he leaves. Bravo.
Περίμενε. Όχι ρε. Θέλουμε. Now that the Buffos progress to the fourth, there is a slight chance that as fourth position, we're gonna go to Europe. That's
Ναι.
satisfying enough for them. Not for us. Sorry.
Okay.
Bye, boys.
Bye. Let's get some more of these comments up. They're coming quick and fast. Θέλει Omonoia παίχτη. I think they do. Do you think they do?
Με τις άκρες.
Happy hour, yeah. Happy hour and a half at the moment. Cypriot coach at Old Trafford. No, why would he go to Old Trafford? They were playing at home.
Παρακάτω.
Yeah. They're playing Romania. Okay, no. 1 minute. We need 4. Blimey. You're 100% behind him. Okay. Pedro? Thoughts?
Είπα το πάνω κάτω ρε φίλε για το όσον αφορά τις μεταγραφές ποιότητας. Εξαρτάται και... ότι θέλουμε κάποιους παίκτες θέλουμε. Τώρα τι θεωρεί κάποιος ποιότητα και τι ικανοποιητικό για την Ομόνια, πιο διαφορετικά πράγματα. Γιατί είδα και κάποια μηνύματα παρακάτω που μιλούν ότι η Πάφος, ας πούμε, έφερε τον Σίτς που τη Watford. Έγαμε το πόσα το Καρέστελ, 3 εκατομμύρια, πόσα από εδώ κάτω. Ποιον που φέρνει η Πάφος.
Orsic.
Τον Orsic, ναι.
They're going for nothing, but his salary is probably pretty big.
What do you mean for nothing?
Well, it's a free transfer. But his salary is going to be big. He'll be over $1 million.
Over $1 million. Εμείς δεν μπορούμε να κάνουμε έτσι πράγμα στην Ομόνια, ρε παιδιά. Δεν μπορούμε να δούμε μισθόν ενός παίχτη $1 εκατομμύριο.
Actually, do you know what? Tell a lie. I don't think it'll be that much.
Ρε, και 700
It'll be close. It'll be close. It'll be Gogorin Gvildaya kind of range.
Είναι λία, ρε φίλε. Είναι λία. Δεν μπορούμε εμείς να δούμε έτσι λεφτά για έναν παίχτη που να φέρουμε το Γενάρη. Αν ήταν ένας παίχτης που να τον φέρναμε το καλοκαίρι και να το κάναμε κλειστό συμβόλαιο για 2 χρόνια και ξέρω εγώ και ιστορίες κακά, διαφορετική κατάσταση. Και αμέσως μπορεί να μιλήσω διαφορετικά. Αλλά νομίζω είναι παλαβόν να πάω να φέρω έναν παίχτη των 800.000 το Γενάρη για 2 μήνες. Για να κάνω τι. Να είμαι 10 βαθμούς πίσω από την κορυφή. Μπορεί και να τους φτάσω, έλα. Μπορεί και να τους φτάσω. Δεν ξέρεις ποτέ να μου γίνεται. Αλλά αν είμαστε μόνοι μας. Εν τέταρτη που είμαστε. Δεν ξέρω ρε φίλε. Σίγουρα θέλουμε center back. Το Μίτσι που ήρθε τώρα οκ. Το θέμα το striker δεν ξέρω να μου να γίνει. Εγώ νομίζω θα φύγει ούτε ο Κακουλής, ούτε ο Στεπίσκης στο Ρεστέρ. Δεν ξέρω αν να μείνουν και οι δυο στο τέλος της χρονιάς. Ulla dalla pojďka stasaj νομίζω για θέμα clickbait και γραφέξ, αλλά γίνεται. Πολλές τις ομάδες της Κύπρου μόνο που την Ομόνια θέλουν οι άλλες ομάδες παίκτες. Μόνο εμείς έχουμε άξιους παίκτες στην Κύπρο, κανένας άλλος. Και να φύγει ο Λοΐζου, και να φύγει ο Νικόλας, και να φύγει ο Χάμπος, και να φύγει ο Κακουλής.
Well, bro, Ella, look, there's a comment here, right? It says it's about the money. Buffer brought in Orsic and Ken Seamer's coming. I get it. They've got a shit ton of money. However, if this club did things the right way in terms of trying to bring in investors and new sponsors, I'm not talking about in Cyprus. I'm talking exoterica, right? And there are ways you can bring in money. There are ways. It's not about just, getting a person with a sack of fucking cash to come in. There are ways of doing it, but they haven't done it because they've decided to do things the way that they feel is the best way, but they haven't moved with the times. And I think this is probably, it's just clicked. They're just old school in their thinking. Last summer's rebuild went all right. I agree. I think it was fine. It all depends on how you build on the upcoming one. I believe we're going to finish third again. Most probably get kicked out of Europe and for the cup. Well, again, George, if we finish third, I think that they'll be happy with it. I think they'll be happy. There you go. It is well known that he would get sacked if he was not to win the cup. At least they should fucking communicate. If Yannis, well, again, we don't know. This is the frustrating thing. We don't know where we stand. No one knows. Grifa. Would it not be good for you to get a coach in now so he can get his philosophy across now and assess the squad, saving time in the summer, especially if the season's right? Well, this is what Pedro said. Yeah. Plus, manager choices are better in the summer. Yeah. You can't write off the season at the moment. Well, this is the thing, George. I wrote it off based on our performances earlier on in the season. And given the way that other teams are performing, I can't see how we're gonna compete for the title anyway. I don't know.
But still, you know what? It's not just the fact of the title, because at the end of the day, we say that we want the team to spend, bring players, but in order to attract the good players, because it's a fact also, because we might saying, και να μπορεί τα τρίτος και να πω Ευρώπη, αφού έτσι αλλιώς πρωτάθλημα είναι πια, με κοφτεί. Ναι ρε φίλε, but if you want to attract the better player to come in the summer, that European ticket speaks. Mila, that is a ticket to attract the better player, to give him the motivation to come, even with a little bit less money than another club that he would go to, because he could know that, you know what, να πάω σπούει στην Ομόνια, είναι να πιάω 50-100 πιόλοι, ας πούμε, το χρόνο, αλλά να παίξω Ευρώπη και να έχω το chance μου να με δει κάποιος, μπορεί να παίξεις, εντάξει, μπορεί να μην παίξεις Champions League, αλλά να παίξεις Europa League. Θα παίξεις Europa League, να παίξεις Conference League.
But this is the thing that we were unofficially hearing, the fact that, they made Metagrafes late in the summer window in the past because they were seeing that if we qualified for the next round, then more players would want to come, better quality. Then if we got to the next round after that, and then the group stages, then more players would want to come. But for me, that's an excuse.
Let me put it this way, though. Do you think that Jovetic was not tempted by the chance that he's going to be playing in the Conference League this year?
I think he was, but also I think that maybe this is the last big money deal that he would get. Did we hear anything about Saudi Arabia? Did we hear anything about America? Did we hear anything about Australia or India? No.
No, but he did have the chance to stay in Greece in a lower level team and make maybe same amount of money as Omonia.
Right. But if he stayed at a low level team in Greece, he'd be walloped week in, week out.
Yeah,
he wouldn't want
exactly.
that. Whereas you come to Omonia, at least you got a chance of challenging for something. Yes, and you'd be the main guy.
Exactly.
So I don't know. Well, this is George saying, I mean, he's a coward because he's not getting the responsibility to be the main coach until the end of the season. If he had 1 or 2 more bad results, we would have a new coach yesterday. to save his position. If everything goes well, he's the coach. If not going so well, we're looking for a coach. So I think what George is trying to say that if the results go well, then he'd get the job permanently. And if they don't, he just goes and moves back upstairs. And do you know what? You're probably right, George. You're probably right.
At the
You're
same
probably
time, we don't know if this is Yannick's decision.
Well, this is it. But again, we can open this little can of worms and say, look, as I've told you guys in the past, there are several coaches out there that they want to be coaches. They don't want to go upstairs and send emails and answer phone calls and all that. They love being on that pitch. It's an endorphin. But then again, we don't know what Yanni wants to do. Maybe he feels that, well, him being there, he can steady the ship a little bit and then search for someone at the same time, or wait for his choice to leave their job at the end of the season and come in. Again, it's all hypothetical. It's all ifs, buts, because no one knows what's going on. And to be honest, on the one hand, I understand the frustration. But on the other, I'm fucking glad that I don't know what's going on. I'm glad, because I don't want to see websites every single day writing this one and that one. How many times have we seen Wagner and Karanka and this one and that one? And it's like, it's playing with people's emotions, right? But at the same time, the people are to blame for believing all of that.
Πόσες φορές να το πούμε ρε Στεφ, εγώ και εσύ. Πόσες φορές να το πούμε. Πέραν η κόστα μαγεία.
Yeah, no, there you go. Buffon sat back. Abuel scored twice and sat back. Ike sat back. The table doesn't lie. That's what I fully agree with that one, though. The table doesn't lie. The table does not lie.
No. And Abuel is not better than us.
Right. A says, of course, he would be happy going into Europe. That's always been the case. Okay, we agree with that. Pedro, others bought Orsic and we bring Barker of Norway. Well, look. That's factually incorrect, because Barker had 13 hamstring injuries before he joined us. This guy hasn't. So there's that. They didn't even do the basics in the summer. Well, this is it. We agree with that. They didn't do the basics. 100%. 100%. Yeah.
Sicuro.
Last question, and you're off to bed. He's probably in bed now. Do you honestly think in the next 10 years with Baba Stavro we will get one championship? We haven't even challenged for the last 4 years, it seems. Right. Well, do you know what? You can never say never with football. You can never say never, because sometimes some owners get found out and end up in prison, as Marseille saw many, many years ago when their owner ended up in prison and they got that European Cup taken away from them. Juventus ended up in Division 2 with Milan. Anything can happen. Anything. So I can't see what's going to happen in the next 10 years. If I could, Pedro and I will be lottery winners, you know. There you go. But can I see us challenging in the next 10 years? I don't know. Can I see us in Division 2 in the next 10 years? I don't know. At this moment in time, I'm saying no because of the way that things are. But you never know. You just never know. You just never know.
Also,
Pedro.
νομίζω ρε φίλε στο τελευταίο μήνυμα, γιατί πέρσι δεν έκαναμε challenge ρε Αντώνη μου. Ευκήγες εκτός πρωταθλήματος στην πρώτη τελευταία αγωνιστική, ως την πρώτη τελευταία αγωνιστική ήσουν για με, διεκδικάς πρωταθλήμα, και αν δεν έκανες τις ματσαράγγες με τα ζακάτια και τις καρμιώτισσες και τις μαλακίες, να πιάνεις το πρωταθλήμα με 9 πόντους διαφορά. Δεύτερο.
Well, Pedro, the thing that we need to take into consideration, which I think we all forget, is that in the playoffs, there are how many points up for grabs? 30 points? You play 10 games in the playoffs.
No.
There are 30 points up for grabs.
No.
Now, I'm not saying we're going to get all 30 points.
But in the playoffs, we lost 2 games.
Yeah.
We drew 1 and lost 1.
Yeah. So let's say, hypothetically speaking, we go into the playoffs 7 points behind Buffon. Then it's anyone's game.
Oh, yeah.
It's definitely anyone's game.
Yeah.
Because if we're 7 points behind Buffon, then Ari might be 2 points and Ike might be 4 points. And it's anyone's game. So, yeah, I've written it off because I don't trust our players' mentality. However, from those statistics I've shown you guys, with the amount of goals that we conceded, with the amount of clean sheets that we've had, with the amount of goals that we scored, and the results that we've had, statistically, and based on that, we've got a chance. But again, it's all in the mind.
And if I take it in a different way, still.
Kiriago, perimene, Kiriago. This isn't Fortnite, bro. Relax.
Perimene. And if I take it that way, still, let's say for the top 6 positions. Πάφων έδερα τους μια φορά, έδεραμε μια φορά. Άρης έδερα τους μια φορά, έπιανε μια ισοπαλία. ΑΕΚ έδερα τους 2 φορές. ΑΠΟΕΛ έπαιξαμε μια φορά, εντάξει, ok, no comment. Αλλά η διαφορά ποια έμπονε. Μετά ποιος είναι άλλος έμεινε, from the top 6. Και στους τους 5 σιωρ, δεν θέλουμε άλλους, και στους τους 5. Άμα πιάσω τούτους τους 5, the top 5, let's say, έδειξα ότι όλους μπορώ να τους κοντράρω. Εν είναι ότι έχουμε. Το ΑΠΟΕΛ να μπορεί να πει. Είναι κερδίσαν ότι είναι αντέπιος τώρα. Είναι με Πάφων, είναι με Άρη, είναι με ΑΕΚ, είναι με Απόλλωνα, είναι κανέναν.
But they can still say that there's 30 points up for grabs. Everyone can say that.
Yeah, I agree with that. But I mean, what I'm saying is, if they can say it, I can say it also, because at least I have beat them also.
Right.
They're there for the taking. And I have proven that I can take them. If I did it, like, for example, Abuel proved they can't take that, they're lacking from that side, because they lost from all of them. I didn't. I played them, I beat them, I drew with them. That's my point.
Yeah, of course. Right. Pedro says, I believe that not even the club knows what's going to happen if we keep it. At this point, I'm on that side.
Nah.
So it's not only the communication, but the worst aspect is the decision making. I think we all agree with that one.
Yeah.
I would like to see Anastasio as coach until the end of the season and next season as well. At the end of the day, I don't think keeping Anastasio will get us worse results than in the last 3 to 4 seasons. Well, look, again, as Pedro said a moment ago, last season the results were good in the derby, but we haven't had a full season with him in this era yet. So, him coming in halfway through the season or 4 months into the season, there's still the other 4 months that we need. So, again, it's difficult to judge or gauge, but based on the results this season and last, we can't complain about the results. The football, yes. The decisions, yes. Everything else, yes. But the results, we cannot. Because again, if you're a blind person, no disrespect, and you're reading Braille and you feel Omonia's results, and you think, fucking hell, like they've got 17 points in the last how many games, whereas the others are still winning. But if their results weren't great, Omonia would be up there. So again, I'm trying to be balanced here. I'm trying to be balanced.
That's a point.
Hello, Chris.
We're trying to be balanced.
Good evening. Well, this is it again. At this stage, I'm agreeing with you because I haven't seen any American. But then again, it's Cyprus, and what he needs to be doing is selling Cyprus to these people, right? And I don't just mean like, the culture and everything. I mean the land or everything around the sea, the Mediterranean, everything, the property, everything. You need to, he should be doing something what Chelsea been fucking doing and build a hotel. Like, I think that's what Sunday's plan was, honestly. But then he realized, I got no money for this, and I got no Israelis to help me. Yeah. You're right, Pedro, that fans would say that, and they do now about such players from Africa, for example. But the reasons fans do that is because there is zero communication from the team. And see, this is the thing. He's right. And I'll tell you why. Because if Omonia, for example, were to collaborate with an academy in Africa, right, they should make a big fucking song and dance about it. Make a big song and dance about it. Because I think it happens already in Cyprus. There are some clubs that have tournaments and they invite scouts from other clubs. Because I know in StatSport they have these little tournaments in Ayanaba sometimes. So they have clubs from Ukraine or Bulgaria coming. If Omonia did something with that, because our academy is undoubtedly one of, if not the best in Cyprus for producing young players. If they had an academy tournament where they invited clubs from England, Germany, whatever, have a little tournament and invite scouts from Spain. They will come. They go to Burkina Faso, for fuck's sake. I know this.
No,
So they
not
will
just
come to
this,
Cyprus.
but I know that, especially this year, I know that from our academies, they were invited from PAOK in Thessaloniki, and they went there twice to see tournaments and the youth games and things like that. So obviously, scouting for youngsters from the PAOK academies in Thessaloniki.
Yeah, but
And
invite other
obviously,
clubs from abroad.
and obviously also to learn about the structures of academies and stuff like that for us to get better. Definitely,
Listen,
they have
I
better
will tell you this now, and I'm not afraid to say this. A friend of mine in Austria yesterday said to me, I can put you in touch with RB Salzburg, right?
Ναι.
Tomorrow, if this fucking club wants me to put them in contact with RB Salzburg, they don't need to because Deshaw is there and Deshaw knows everyone.
Yeah.
Use him. Use him. Use him to make connections to do it because he fucking goes everywhere. Deshaw, everywhere. He's the guy,
That's
bro.
another
He's the
mystery
guy.
for me.
He's a fucking guru. I don't care. He's a guru.
You
Trust
know,
me on this one.
You know that for me, that's
Trust me, Daddy. He
fucking
is.
mystery.
Use this brother because he. Anyway, let's get Girago on. He's waiting. He's been waiting.
Καλά να πάθει, ρε.
He's been waiting.
Παίζει με ανίσια του.
Ανίσια μου, ρε. Hello, boys.
Μας να που θέλει, ρε.
Ήθελα που θέλω, ρε. Αν πω λες την κουβέντα να μου πουλαρείτε σήκωτα από το καφέ και χρόνο ότι κάνετε να μπω σκολιστώ.
Γιατί να μου μάθει εμείς το ποσκόγιο σου.
Free time, ρε. Τι
Όχι,
είναι.
κουμπάρε. Να πάει στο λιθροδόντα για να μάθεις να που πρέπει να είμαστε εμείς για σένα. Μόνο στο λιθροδόντα είναι σωστή. Το καλό το πράγμα.
Ρε, μόνο και μόνο που σαν δουλεύω κάθε και ακούω σας στο αμπάλα του, δεν μπορείτε να ζήσει.
Είπε μας και αμπάλα του, αμπάλα του. Κάτω τον πόξο, ρε. Εσύ τον να πάει, ρε. Τον να πάει τον καθανή καβλό.
Usted es professionalista. Y él está ampara.
Δεν τρέπεται τίποτε, man. Δεν τρέπεται
Δεν
τίποτε.
ότι μπορώ να πατήσω και εγώ το κουμπί. Δεν θέλω παραπάνω. Να σου πω. Σίγουρα μας. Peimastón, ρε. Peimastón.
Όχι, είπα σου έτσι ρεσπετώ για το υποχτεσινό. Ως το φίλτα.
Καλά να σου κάνω, ρε. Καλά να σου κάνω.
Κυριάκο.
Να κάνεις καμιά μπελάρα, να.
Άμα σου λέω, έχει πρόβλημα ο άνθρωπος, έχει πρόβλημα.
Ρε, αφού είδα το για ένα δευτερόλεπτο και βάζε μου tap
Because it
for
was 1
sound.
second.
Καλά, θέλεις παραπάνω από ένα δευτερόλεπτο.
Ναι, αλλά έγραψε μου tap for sound, δεν άκουσα καν να μου είπε.
Don't worry. Don't worry. Εν πειράζει. Άντε. Talk to us.
Είμαστε τα δικά σου.
Πέτε μου κάτι για να... Επειδή είχασα, δεν ξέρω καν να μου αρκεύσα να μου
It's
είπατε, τι
therapy,
είπατε.
bro. It's therapy. Tell us. Speak your truth.
Τι να πούμε ποτά για το παιχνίδι, για το σημερινό, επειδή βλέπω και κάποια κόμματα για το πλαστιχάρι, δεν ξέρω να μου συζητούν για τη χαρά μου, τη σημερινή, τη χαρά την πορτασινή, τη χαρά του παίχτη που ήρθε, του Mr. Barker.
Εσύ τον να πάει, ρε. Εσύ τον να πάει, ρε. Εσύ μισή ώρα που κάθεται και αμέ κάτω και θωρεί μας και δεν ξέρει για τα πράγματα μιλούμε.
Όχι, εντάξει. Άκουσα, ρε. Μ' άκουν να πω και τον Μπουανίτε, αλλά είμαστε σε μια γραμμή. Να σου θα κάτσω τα τρία πράγματα που πάτε εσείς. Θα τα κάτσω τα πράγματα, εσείς και ώρες που μου πήρατε. Anyway.
Έγες και κουέλες, τα αυτιά του καμπανέλες.
Ας πω, έμπαγα ένα φορνέτ, δεν έχεις πω εσύ.
Μίλα.
I have lost the will to live.
Makes two of us.
I need
Και
to
μετά
find
λαλείς μου,
this
ρε,
bridge.
ο παδός της Ομόνιας ημίς μου. Ο παδός της Ομόνιας ημίς μου. Μπαναήρι μου μόνος του τούτο, ρε.
Why don't our viewers ask Kiriago a question? Ask
No,
Kiriago a
no.
question, guys. Ask Kiriago a question. I think we could run it this way. We could run it this way.
Anyway, ήταν να σας πω ότι είμαι της επόψης ότι Κάνω τον παίχτη, ότι από την μια καταλαβαίνω ότι ούλοι εδώ κάνουν πάνω του, ξέρω εγώ, το φάση, έχει προθέσει, έχει έτσι άλλος πώς. Αλλά από την άλλη, είμαι και μιλούμε με άποψη ότι οκ ρε παιδιά, και που έδωσε βίντεος του, οκ, δεν του επίπεδο Νορβηγία με την Κύπρο, αλλά έδειξε κάποια στοιχεία, έδειξε κάποια στοιχεία που μπορεί να βοηθήσει την Ομόνια σε θέμα ότι κάποιοι παίχτες δεν έχουν γίνει το τσαμπουκά, δεν έχουν γίνει το μαθητικότητα. Δεν το βλέπω σε πολύ πολλούς παίχτες το πράγμα. Πολλά έτσι σύρεστε το mentality κάποιων παιχτών δεν τζάμε. Κάποια παιχνίδια, κάποια είναι, δεν ξέρω. Είναι ψυχολογίας. Και από τη στιγμή που και τούτος είναι πολλά οκ, πολλά καλή για το 28 χρόνο, top ηλικία του. So, να πεις τώρα, η Ομόνια είναι και ομάδα να γεννούνται παίχτες. Αλλά, εντάξει, δεν μου να κάνουμε. Να σου δείχνει καλά στοιχεία του, πώς το πάρω. Το που δίνω τα βίντεο που είδα, so, όταν όλοι καθέτει στο γήπεδο, θέλω κομπάρε, γιατί δεν κάτσω να ψω αν παίχτη. Τα χάει και παίχτη για να σου και το παίχτη στο αυκείο στο γήπεδο αύριο και οι μισοί το γιο χαΐζουν, οι μισοί μάχονται να μπουτόν που φέρατε, ή ας πούμε στην ποτή λάθος πάσα, ποτή λάθος ενέργεια να γιο χαΐζει ο κόσμος ούλος. Τα χάει δεν είναι και καλύτερο πράγμα νομίζω για οποιοδήποτε παίχτη να έχουν έτσι οπάτους, να κάνουν έτσι. Τα χατίες πρέπει να νιώσει καλύτερα, δηλαδή τα χάει κομπαραφέρες στον παίχτη σου, παίχτη της Ομόνιας, δεν μπορεί στηρίξει τα τέλος. Εν έχει τις μαλακίες τα. Ενώ σου είναι τούτο που κάνουν οι λάθος οπαδοί και δεν καταλαβαίνω τα. Ενώ τα είχα κρύψει, έφερας και μου σε φέρα, τελειώσαι να κάνεις, δεν μπορείς να κάνεις κάτι. Και όσον και αν μουρίζεις, έτσι να, αφού φαίνεται ότι είναι και κουλιάνας τίποτε που είναι διοίκηση. Δεν σκόφτει. Έτσι κοινοί ξέρουν, κοινοί κάνουν, κοινών εφέραση, κοινώς είναι. Απλά σίγουρα αν συγκρινείς με το ποιος φεύγει και ποιος έρχεται, σίγουρα ο κόσμος ο παραγωγός καρτερούσε παίχτη που το μπορεί και καλύτερο από Σίμιτς. Αν και, αν το πιες έτσι, για στατιστικό, ο Σίμιτς είναι και έκαμε σου τη φοβερά στατιστικά 2 χρόνια στην Ομονία. Ειδικά πέρσι ήταν προς αμφισβήτηση. Ότι υπάρχει, ότι είναι έτσι, ότι είναι η υπόθεση, ότι είναι μέτριος. Ήρθε από τη Βοηβοδίνα, από τον Αστέρα, 1,8 εκατομμύρια αξία, πες το 1 εκατομμύριο. Να σου πω ότι έκαμε downfall στην Ομονία, βασικά ο Σίμιτς. Και τώρα φέτος ανέβηκε, αλλά βασικά ανέβηκε, αλλά δεν αστεροποιήθηκε. Δεν πήγε πιο πάνω. Δεν πήγε να πεις ότι έφερε το αστέρι σου, ας πούμε. Ότι κάνει διαφορά σε γκολ, σε ασίς, κάνει τα ούλα. Απλά σίγουρα βοηθά πάρα πολλά στη δημιουργία, βοηθά πάρα πολλά σε πολλά θέματα, βοηθά πίσω. Αλλά ας πούμε σήμερα στο δύσκολο ότι ο κότσι φαίνεται σε γύρω εμείς φέτος. Έτσι ότι κάνει την καλύτερη του χρονιά. Αλλά σίγουρα, να το πιο μου συγκρίσει με τους άλλους, έχει είναι και μόνο τα στατιστικά, είναι και το performance. Και φαίνεται ότι το performance σχήματα σταθερός. Και μπορεί να είναι και αυτό που φτιάχνει κάθε το MVP, διότι άμα πιω τον Κουλιμπαλί τώρα, ας πούμε, τελευταία 10 παιχνίδια, το τι κάνει ο Κουλιμπαλί, ας πούμε, το άτομο αμυντικός, ο κρυστατερμό αμυντικός, γιατί είναι και μόνο που την... Εγώ θεωρώ ότι είναι μεγάλο πάρος πάνω του που πέφτει στην άμυνα του Κουλιμπαλί, γιατί εγώ θεωρώ ότι είναι ηγέτης αυτή τη στιγμή, με την εμφάνιση. Ο Κουλιμπαλί, γιατί ας πούμε, φτιάχνει κάθε το MVP καλό, και φτιάχνουν άλλοι παίχτες. Ο Ελοΐζου, φτιάχνει Κακουλής, ή ξέρω εγώ, ενώ σου, να προσέξατε τους MVP τελευταία, βγάλουν τους παίχτες που δεν να κάνουν κάτι διαφορετικό, ή είναι επιθετικοί, ή αγαπούν τον πολλά κερκίδα, ή τα είχαν έτσι. Ενώ βλέπουν τη δουλειά που κάνει κάποιος που πολλά φαίνεται. Όπως τον Μάρις, ας πούμε.
Πόσες φορές είδες αμυντικό να φτιάχνει MVP?
Σπάνι.
Ακριβώς, επομένως να μπορεί να βρει για τον Κουλιμπάλη. MVP να φανεί συνήθως ή ο πορτάρης γιατί κόψε τα άντερα του, ή ο επιθετικός που έβαλε 2 τέρματα, ή ο winger που έκαμε 3 ασίς και ιστορίες μες στο ύπεδο. Είναι πολλά σπανιόν να δεις αμυντικό να πιάει το MVP.
Ή πολύ απλά, αν και μια ψευτονική είναι 1-0, και η επιθετική σου είναι 1 μέτρη, και απλά έχεις πολλά solid αμήνα, και απλά να πεις ότι επέλε επιθετική σου επειδή έπαιξαν πολλά καλά, αλλά έβαλες το τέρμα σου, πες έβαλε γκολ Ευάντρο, ας πούμε, δεν θα βγει MVP πήγαν το τέρμα, επειδή έπαιξαν πολλά καλά, overall. Αλλά ενώ αμυντικά σου είναι τέλειος και ο Κουλιμπάλη έκαμε εξαιρετικό παιχνίδι, πρέπει και ο Κουλιμπάλη επειδή επιθετική σου ήταν σχεδόν να βάλει 20 το τέρμα από τους επιθετικούς σου, ήταν τόσο καλό overall όσο το Κουλιμπάλη, ας πούμε, που σε κάτσε το 0 στην άμυνα και έκαμε στους νίκες στο τέλος. Επειδή το πάρει στο στέλ, είναι η άμυνα που σου πει από αθήματα, και παιχνίκια, όχι η επίθεση, συνήθως. Αλλά μας ζήσει όμως.
Να σου κάνω μια ερώτηση. επειδή ανάφερε τον Κυράκος ότι ο Σίμις δεν πως έβαλε και 1000 τέρματα, φέτος και τέρματα έβαλε. Ο Μιτσής που έφεραν τώρα, θυμίζει με το όνομα του ρε.
Ingebrigtsen.
Ο Βρίξεν. Αν είμαι σωστός ρε Στελέ, δεν ξέρω. Πες μου εσύ γιατί είσαι λίγο πιο ψαγμένος που μένα. Έβαλε 7 γκολ στο πρωτάθλημα φέτος.
Yeah, something like that, yeah. He was one of the top goal scorers. He was one of the top goal scorers.
Και ήταν να πω και στο άλλο που ήταν να πω πόσα τέρματα βάλουν συνήθως οι winger μας το χρόνο.
Well, listen, if you're classing Semedo as a winger, then he was a good leading goal scorer last season.
Ναι, πες, να μου ζητώ.
Γενικά ρε φίλε, γενικά. Ο winger πόσα τέρματα βάλει. Γενικά, I'm not talking about it. Άλλοι 5, 6, 7, 8, ναι. Άρα, δεν μου καθόμαστε και κρεμάσαμε τον άνθρωπο.
Ναι ρε, but μην ξεχνάς this player, he can play right wing, left wing, and as a Degari.
Degari, yes. I know. Because I'm in the Patreon, I know. So...
There you go. Oh, sorry. Where is it? Shit, fuck bollocks. There you go. €3 a month.
Πάτε στο Patreon να μάθει για τον παίκτη που είστε στην Ομόνια.
357.
357 με το ΦΠΑ για το γάρο των Κυριακών.
Όχι ρε, εγώ και φέρω για τον παίκτη που φέρνει, απλά έχουν ένα
και για σένα που λαλώ ρε, γενικά που το λαλώ για να το ακούσουν και άλλοι, γιατί να μην το ξεχάνουμε και το πράγμα. Ο άνθρωπος έρχεται από ένα πρωτάθλημα που έβαλε 7 τέρματα στο πρωτάθλημα που τελειώσε τώρα. Average του ο winger να βάλει 5 με 9 τέρματα το χρόνο, που σημαίνει in my book.
Στην Τρόμζο θυμούμε, στις χρονιές πέρα στην Τρόμζο έβαλε 33 τέρματα. Νομίζω, είμαι σίγουρος, αλλά νομίζω... Είχα δω και εγώ τσακρεύω, τα σφαμμάκια, είχα δει, εντάξει, που τη μια καταλαβαίνω ότι ασχήμα στατιστικά του, θα όμως που έπαιζε. Ενώ σε το point, ότι έσπεν παρέμβανο ο Σίμιτς, έπαιζε, θυμάστε, έπαιζε Ποντίνα, έπαιζε και στο επίπεδο της Κύπρου, ενώ τους έπαιζε πιο χαμηλό. Άρα, η αμυντική της Νορβηγίας μπορεί να είναι το ίδιο της Κύπρου. Επειδή στην Κύπρο να δεις πιο κλάς, ότι είχετε... Πας στο κοντά στον εκατομμύριο παίχτες πλέον. Οι κάποιοι με παθόν και μου αρένουν τα αποκέντουν παίχταρα, έφερε τον Γκόρτσον που του Rangers, 34 εκατομμύρια, μιλούμε για άλλο επίπεδο αμυντικού στην Κύπρο πλέον, λόγω του λεφτών.
Ειδικά πέρσι οι θέσεις που έπαιξε ο Σίμιτς, έκαναμε τον... Εμείς να μην μπορεί να βάλει γκολ. Για να παίξει δεξιά, μια παίξει αριστερά, μια παίξει κέντρο, μια παίξει μπροστά.
Λυπάσουν το, είχε παιχνίδια από τον λυπάσουν τα.
Ευχαριστώ πάρα πολύ, Αριστοτέλους Πέτρος. Πόσες φορές να λάβω.
Εγκρίμαν τα καντζατίχος που πόσα καύκαρε, αλλά πέσει τα ιστορικό μπάρε ήταν με τα σπεταμέτρια, αλλά βάλε στους 4 τέρματα τα τρέβε τα βουέλ. Θκυο από τα μέτρους. Θκυο. Τώρα είστε ότι είμαι κάπως...
Hammarby sold a player to Hoffenheim for €13 million.
14 ρε ψεύτη.
Από Βέικα ρε.
14 ρε.
Is that net? Is that net?
14.
Is that after tax or pre-tax? I don't know.
Who's the player?
I don't know.
Δεν ξέρω ρε Κυριακό. Έπιες στη Hoffenheim. Τσακαρέν τα παίκτην έπιανε η Hoffenheim. Ότι η Μάκαβη.
Εν τούτο ρε φαίνεται ότι...
Fuck's sake. I don't know. Don't know. You sure it's Hoffenheim? I'm looking at Transfermarkt now. Can't see anyone from
Αν είναι
Hammarby.
κοίταξε στη Χάμαρπη ρε φίλε. Και παίχτες τους ευβιάσει.
Από τη Χάμαρπη που πήγαινε.
Ναι. Έτσι λέει ο Άλεξ.
Come on. Low.
Μπαζουμάνα του ρε.
Has he gone? Has he gone? Oh. Oh my. He's a player. He's a flipping player.
Γιατί δεν τον έπιανε ο Παπασταύρου.
He's only 18, for fuck's sake. Is he officially gone? They signed him for like 300 grand.
Cosa?
Yeah, they signed him from a club in Ivory Coast for, well, it says transfer mark 400,000, but it's probably less than that.
Εντάξει, το φαινόμενο. Εμείς εδώ να πούμε πιο
4,000, and they sold it. Look, I can't see anything online. Let me check if it's been confirmed, but I know that he was being looked at by various clubs. He's a player, man. He's a flipping player.
Which position?
Winger.
Είδες ποιο έπρεπε να πιέω ασταύρο.
Yeah, he met them today, 9 hours ago. He met Hoffenheim. So yeah, I think it looks like it's happening. Fuck off.
Choose Hoffenheim before Fener. Ακούω ομάδες που ενδιαφέρουν. Γιατί δεν είναι πιο Παπασταύρο, ρε. Είναι και Winger. Μαλάκα Παπασταύρο. Ενώ και 14 εκατομμύρια να πιέσεις τούτο. Γάδα, ρε.
Δεν και μόνο του Κασάνα να μην θυμώνω γάμο του. Τα άλλα 13 από τον άλλο. Ρε Στέλ, έχεις και μια ιδέα for the Macaulay? Which problem does he have on the medicals?
They found something in the test.
Και το καρδέτα σήμερα, ξέρουν όλοι ότι the deal is off, τα είχα στην Κύπρο και αυτό το καρδέτα σήμερα ότι ναι, βάλαν το σουηδικό άνθρωπο ότι δεν είπαν τα τεσσάρις του, αλλά έτσι απλά αφήνει μια ανοιχτή πόρτα και ερωτηματικών αν θα αποκύψει συμφωνία, ενώ μόνο αφού ξεκαθαρόν ότι θα κλείσει, αφού ήταν Κύπρο μαζί με τον Γκεμπρίντζ, ήταν να ανακοινθούν μαζί. Στην τώρα και στην Ομονία, τι είχε chance τα είχα. Να ξανα... Του πάνε κάμε το clickbait ότι ακόμα αφήνεις το άλλον το παδό σε πίσω, ότι αν μπορούν να κλείσουν τελικά, ενώ λήξει ότι θα κλείσει.
Θα πω τίποτε.
Φίλε, they sold the central defender to Marseille for 4 million euros, right? And I think that no, Malme, whatever you call them. Και εγώ θεωρώ that maybe they didn't want the kid to go. They signed a new contract in April last year there.
Του Macaulay.
Yeah.
Είναι στο 28. Στο 28 που ήταν το συμβολίο του.
Well, yeah, so...
Ναι, πέρσι το υπογράψε, λάλλομαι.
Yeah.
Πέρσι το υπογράψε στο 28.
Εγώ πέλεγω, πιστεύω ότι επειδή είδα το σκουάτ της Μάλμε στο Σοβάσκορ και είδα ότι έχουν πολλούς αμυντικούς. Έχουν 5-6 αμυντικούς και οι κάποιοι είναι το εκατομμυρίο, δηλαδή μιλούμε για 3 εκατομμυρία στην αξία. So μπορεί τούτοι επειδή μητσείς, πολλά ξεκαθαρά, επειδή έχουν πολλούς αμυντικούς, ήταν να σωτώ δανεικό για ως πλήρως το καλοκαίρι, απλά και όπως εμείς που στέλνουμε σπέντους με τη μητσού μας στη ΜΕΑΠ, του είπαμε να στείλεις την Ομόνια απλά για και λεπτά. Θα παίξει τα. Αλλά με βάση την Αναστασίου, αν το Μουσαρόσκι το βάλει, πέτρο με τέτοιο στο τέλος, το Μιτσίμου δεν το βάλει.
Η διαφορά είναι ότι ο Μουσαρόσκι είναι δικός μας. Ένα νίκη σε κανένα, δεν ήταν.
Και ο Μουσαρόσκι, ναι, και ο Μουσαρόσκι ήταν με αυτούς που τον πεζούς, είναι πιο βασικά είναι η καθαρή σου δεκάρκα, ό,τι γίνεται. Οι άλλοι απλά παίζουν περιφερειακοί, δηλαδή Ευάντρο, Χάμπος.
Όχι.
Αυτό να κάνει ο Ευάντρο.
Ευάντρο κάνει δεκάρι.
Στο transfer market έχουν το central midfield.
Γάμα το transfer market.
Listen. Let's. All right. The line is he's failed the medical. Okay, that's the line, and I'm gonna go with the line because that's all I know. Okay, but last season he played 11 games in the league. That doesn't tell me that he's got experience to play at a high level. 11 games for a 20-year-old. Okay, it's good. It's good, right? Allah, we can't turn around and say we're going to get angry because he didn't sign and we're going to get pissed off. Okay, it didn't happen. Embirazi. There are other players. But again, Yadi Berimenomen on the 31st of January. We shouldn't have to be signing players in January. We should have done it in the summer.
Εντάξει, δεν το Γενάρη έχεις το για ή να πουλήσεις παίχτη ή να ενισχύσεις το ομάδα σου ή να...
Or you panic. And you shit the bed.
Μα η Ομόνια δεν μπορεί, παραδείγμα το Γιώργο Σίμιτς, άμα έτσι μεγάλη πρόταση, δεν μπορεί να κάνει η Ομόνια. Δεν μπορεί που σε στιγμή το σεβόν του λυγί το Μάη και δεν ευκαιρία τώρα και που στο Τουρκί και ο σκάουτ και πέντε κουμπάρε, λίγο συμβόλαιο του τον Μάη, άρα πρέπει τώρα του δω ψηλό συμβόλαιο, ξέρω εγώ, και μου είναι να λύσου, άμα παίχτης ο ίδιος θέλει να φύγει, που δεν καίνε διπλάσια από εμάς, εσύ από εκεί πας σε μια εταιρεία και είναι 1.000 ευρώ και δεν γίνεται να λύσουν να καίνε 4.000. Θα φύγεις. Αλλά το σκεφτώ και πολύ άλλο. Η Σίβασπορ, τι όφελος του διά αυτούς που λεφτά, ενώ σου έφταγανε τρίτη πως 16, πως 18, έφταγανε τρίτη. Θα πήγανε Ευρώπη, δεν έκανε Ευρώπη, δεν θα πάει Ευρώπη το πιο μεγάλο. Έχει τόσο ομάδες, φέρνουν Μπαξέ, αλλά σε ράει, ποιος σου είπε, οκ. Αλλά η Σίβασπορ δεν είναι κάποια ομάδα που να πεις ότι ρεκλικά, έχει στόχους, που να πω ότι το project της ομάδας βοηθάει να
Yeah, bro.
τον κάνει να
Allah, you
πάει.
don't listen. Then Xeromen that Omonia didn't offer him a new contract. Maybe they said to him, like, "We're not going to give you a new contract." Maybe he's not in the
Γίνεται, ρε
plans.
φίλε.
Γίνεται, ρε.
Επίσης
Ah,
τέλος σου
come on, man.
παίχτης που σε βοηθά χρήσιμο και εννοείς πέλε κόφταγα να τα πουλήσουμε. Μου αρέσει τώρα, δεν το νέο σου. Τον πέσος αποκλείει, δεν ξέρω, αν το φάμε μεγάλος, δεν νομίζω το νέο σου. Αλλά
Bro, listen. This is football. This is football.
θα
Okay.
το στείλω και εγώ περίμενα εχθές το νέο σου. Τα κάνει καιρό, όχι τώρα.
Okay. Okay. How do you know? How do you know that maybe in Simic's mind this is the last time he's going to get a big contract? How do you know?
Εντάξει, 29 years old.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you see any clubs from Saudi Arabia or Serbia offering him a new contract? MLS? Anyone? No, because so Sivasspor came in and maybe they doubled his wage. Maybe we don't know how much he's going to get.
No, they told me
Trebled.
600. 600K.
Trebled his wage, and they probably gave him a 2-year deal, yeah, or 3 years, yeah, 1.2 million.
I was told that in Omonia he was getting 300K the year, and now in Sivasspor he will get 600.
They doubled his wage, and they gave him a guaranteed 2-year contract.
I don't know the years, and they told me at the beginning. They told me that Sivasspor was offering 400K for the Graffi. Omonia said I want 500, and they will διαπραγματευτούν
Ναι.
400,
Αλλά-
450, 400, 450, κάπου για μí.
Let
Έχει
me
και
tell you
κάτι
a story.
ψηλά δεξιά-αριστερά.
Let me tell you a story. Διότι, you know, again, I want to clear this out, right? And actually, I know what you're saying, Kirago. I understand what you're saying about, you know, Omonia being in Europe, this and that. There's one player, right? He's playing in the 5th division in England. 5th. Premier League, Championship, League 1, League 2, and then Conference. Probersi. We had an offer to take this player to Raja Casablanca. He was going to be on
Μαρόκο.
Morocco. He was going to be on 200,000 a year, 2-year contract after tax. He's sitting on Dora 22, 23,000 a year. Dora in non-league in England, right? He had the chance to go. And the reason why he didn't go is because his agent, because we had a mandate, right? His agent wanted extra. That's all I'm saying. Yeah?
Ποιον παίχτη μιλούμε τώρα?
I'm not going to tell you the players.
Είναι η ιστορία που σου λέει, ρε φίλε.
I'm not going to
Έτσι
tell you
είναι
his
το
name,
όνομα.
right? But he decided to listen to his agent. Jedora, he's still playing non-league when he could have been in Casablanca on the beach with a cocktail or whatever it is that they drink, whatever, earning 400,000 guaranteed and probably scoring goals as well. So there are footballers that make strange decisions, very strange decisions, very strange. And this is why whenever people say to me, why is Duran going to Saudi Arabia and he could be playing Champions League at Aston Villa? Well, there could be about 20 million reasons why.
Δεν εξιστηγείς και behind closed doors να μιλούνται, να προσπόσχονται, να μπουσούδια.
Bravo. So this is what I'm saying. You know, maybe, okay, Sivasspor, maybe they're not a good team, but there's 600,000 reasons why. And you can't blame the guy. I can't blame him.
Πιστεύω, είσαι, δεν θα πω τους πω πρώτο. Είσαι μες στην δεκά κυπέλλου το πιο πιθανό που ξέρει το μάλλον να δερούμε, και έχεις Conference League πάει και 16. Ενώ έχεις όλα τα φόντα, έχεις τόσο πολύ,
Εντάξει.
ας σε δει Ευρώπη,
Κυριακό μου, είχε κανέναν καραντί ότι να έρθει το τέλος του χρόνου και να έρθουν και να το πούν «Σίμιτς μου υπόγραψε».
Παμπεδίο, γιατί όμως να σκεφτεί να το ανανεώσει, να σκεφτεί να μπει καν στη σκέψη.
Ρε φίλε, είχε εγγύηση ο παίχτης
There's a reason. Λούφνα.
Εντάξει, το John του
Είχε
Λούφνη
ο
και
παίχτης καμία
Ακινδόλα...
εγγύηση ότι η Ομόνια να το ανανεώνε. Όχι. Είχε εγγύηση ότι να πάει αλλού και μέσα σε 2 χρόνια να πιάει σχεδόν 1,5 εκατομμύριο. Ναι. Πόσα χρόνια να παίξει ακόμα ο Σίμιτς, συζητήσαμε τα στο προηγούμενο πόντ. Σύμφωνα με τη θέση που είναι, την ηλικία που είναι, άντε να παίξει 2, άντε να παίξει 3 χρόνια. Το πολύ να παίξει 4. Εσύ να χαλάσει δηλαδή να ξέρεις ότι στο τέλος της καριέρας σου να πάει να τζοπώσεις άλλο 1,5 εκατομμύριο.
Να σου πω κάτι άλλο, right? And I'll tell you this because I know this for a fact. One player, I'm not going to say who, right? One player that was with Omonia, they didn't have any contract talks with him until the day after the cup final, and that's all. The only thing they said to him is, "We don't need you. You can go." I'm not going to tell you. Stop asking.
No,
it's confidentiality, bro. I'm just saying. And I don't speak to Karim anyway, so. So look, bro. Listen. What I'm saying is, and the other thing I will say, right, is with regards to Simic, perhaps he's seen what's been happening at this club and he thinks, "Fuck this shit."
Maybe, μπορεί στα βοηθήρια να μπορείς κλίκες όχι έτσι.
I'm just talking about, anyway. Where are we? David, play up, Pompey.
Γεια σου ρε David μου. Χάσαμε σε το Σαββάτο. Πού εμπούσουν.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, true.
And that's it. That is it. I think everyone's gone to bed.
Sorry, it's 1:15. What do you expect?
Yeah, I'm just saying. It's fine. Look, it's up to Papa Stavro to bring the football. Okay. Right, exactly. That's exactly what we've been saying, Andrea. Bring in football people. What, bro, night shifts? Ah, man. I feel your pain.
Yes, Alex. Yes.
Big up, man, for jumping on, honestly.
Πώς να βλέπω.
1157. Να που γέλας.
Yeah. Anyway. That's it. That is it.
Πράγματι. Όσον εντάξει, είπαμε και ο Σίμις, εντάξει, απλά εγώ ήξερα που το μάθα, απογοητεύτηκα, ήμουν κάπως τους βασικούς σου, έκανε πάρα πολλά, ήμουν κάπως τώρα, μόνα μου τώρα. Επειδή εκεί στο τέλος της περίοδου, γι' αυτό απογοητεύτηκα, και τώρα ποιον να φέρουν, και είπαμε μετά τον Νορβηγό και ήμουν κάπως, και τσακάτε ήμουν κάπως, αμά, κούσε μου τούτος, και και που το είδα, που ήμουν στιγμή ήμουν κάπως, παντού που τον δικαστούν ο Σίμις, τα καμία σχέση. Εντάξει, μετά που είδα σε κάποια βίντεο του χτες που το παρασύρει η Ομόνια στο Ομόνια TV, εγώ θέλω ότι έχει κάποια στοιχεία του Σίμιτς κάπως. Είναι κοντός, είναι 70, βραχής όμως, έχει μαχητικότητα, έχει ευέλικτος, έχει agility, έχει τελειώμα, όπως τα βίντεο του που είδα, τα τελειώμα που είχε. Μαχητικός πολλά, άρα να παίχτης που θέλω, έσκει μου μαχητικός, ενώ σου να μπαίνει στις φάσεις δυνατά. Πιστεύω πολλά σου ευκεί, δεν ξέρεις.
Do you have anything in mind still about this?
Well, the Norwegian national team.
Yeah.
I don't think he's ever played.
No, he's asking what...
Under 21s, under 19s. I think all the way right through to 16s, under 16s, I think.
This guy is asking what position does the Norwegian national team have?
Oh, I thought it was asking like, has he played at the for the Norwegian national team?
Έπαιξε όμως σε όλες τις εμίτσες μας.
He's played right the way
No,
through from under
national
21
team in
to...
general. He's saying the national team in general. What position does he have?
With the Norwegian national team, what in the
In the league.
in the confederations?
Haaland,
Oh fuck
then
knows. Norway confederations. God, FIFA rankings. What am I talking about? It's FIFA rankings, coefficients. What the fuck is it? 43rd.
Και η Κύπρος.
110.
Yeah, Cyprus is somewhere down there. I think we're closer to India than anything.
Exactly.
Closer to India. Fucking hell.
103 νομίζω.
100 κάτι σίγουρα.
FIFA Cyprus ranking. 130th.
130. Exactly, Ανδρέα μου. Ευχαριστώ πάρα πολύ.
Ναι, το θέμα είναι το FIFA ranking. Άλλο, μα εθνικές μιλούμε για Κύπρο και Κυπρέους μόνο. Στην Κύπρο, να προσέξατε, οι μισές ομάδες δεν έχουν Κυπρέους. Τούτο την Ομόνια και ο αυτός είναι τώρα, οι Έλληνες δεν έχουν Κυπρέους. Ειδικά οι καλές ομάδες που πάνε για πρωτάθλημα δεν έχουν Κυπρέο. Έχουν έναν Κυπρέο. Έχει μια μπελέα μόνο ο Παύλος.
Yeah, they're beating us 4-0. They're beating us 4-0 every game.
Να πω κάτι άλλο, ρε Παρσέτο εδώ. Ένα λεπτό. Εμείς λαλούμε ότι θα ήταν καλό εάν τα παιδιά μας, οι Κυπραίοι, επιέναν και Βέλγιο δεύτερη κατηγορία, και Γαλλία δεύτερη και τρίτη κατηγορία, και Ισπανία δεύτερη και τρίτη κατηγορία. Η πρώτη κατηγορία της Νορβηγίας δεν κάνει για την πρώτη κατηγορία της Κύπρου δηλαδή.
Pedro, there's only 5 million people. There's only 5 million people in Norway. Yeah.
Fuck me.
There's only 5 million, but they produce Haaland, Odegaard. And over the years, you look at Torre Flo, Solskjaer, Henning Berg, you look at all those players, right? But our players, like Gostir that went to Atletico Madrid, he chose Greece. Why? Ketspire, why? And then you have players like Nochoftes that go to Sassuolo and that do well, and then they come back and they're like, they don't even get games.
Hugo Musharowski, who plays in the Europa League group stage with Liverpool.
Yeah.
And Omonia plays 5 minutes.
Bro, Iligrina, yeah, it's like I keep on saying. Imichimas, they need to go and play abroad. And the more I see this post with Humber, the statistics, he's won this, he's done that. I'm like, bro, you should be playing in a bigger league. How's he going to develop? How? Anyways, story for another time. This is fucking long. Is there anything else we need to go through? Have we done what we need to do?
What Andrea is trying to say is that we can't share our players, that the national teams are steps above us. I can't say that I disagree.
Well, think about this, right? And again, going back to Inga Britson, how many players from Scandinavia have come to Cyprus that no one's heard of and they've done well?
Yeah.
Ο μόνος που μπορεί να πιω τώρα είναι τον Μπέξου, Σουηδός.
Yeah, but who heard of him?
Πολλά Γάλλος. Ναι, ακριβώς. Αλλά δεν ξέρω το βιογραφικό του στον Μπέξου που παίξε πριν και πιάνουν ο Άρης, αλλά ο θυμός Σουηδός είναι εκείνος. Εντάξει, και ο Ελάντερ που φέραμε από την Δυσχό πολλά το βιογραφικό. Παίξε στη Σουηδία, θα μαζί με Μπραήμοβιτς. Και το παίζει με top level, Ελάντερ. Εγώ ακόμα έχω θέλω τον καλό παίχτη, απλά είναι αργός. Παίζεις εκεί με νικία με Ελάντερ. Αν παίζεις με ομάδες που κάθεσαι πίσω, που κάνεις ο Ελάντερ. Αν παίξεις με ομάδα που έχει transition, όπως τον Άρη, δεν μπορεί να παίξεις ο Ελάντερ.
Να απαντήσω τον David. I remember that when we got Ralphman, ήταν δεύτερη κατηγορία, David, που ήταν ο Ralphman. Why can't we look at those markets? Νομίζω έχασαμε τα connection. Τότε είχες ποιος εμπούταν ο γιατρός, τότε δεν ήταν ο Φάντης ρε. Ποιος εμπούταν, ποιος που είχε έτσι μακριά μαλλούκια και όμως τα ακούει. Γαμώ το, φεύγει μου το όνομα του τώρα. Ποιος εμπούταν ο Τζίνος Ρεστέ.
Name's gone out of my head.
But you understand with the guy I'm talking about,
He had like a mullet, didn't he?
Yeah.
He had like a mullet. Yeah.
Εντζήνος που τους έφερνε, που έβρισκε πολλούς παίχτες τότε, πάντα πιέννε και κάτι, fuck, what was his name, πού γάμω το. Anyway, νομίζω έχασαμε και that connection, ρε, David. Έχασαμε και that connection.
It's never too late.
Yeah.
It's never too late.
Yeah.
It's never too late.
to apologize.
There you go. Well, I don't think it's too late for them to apologise to us. I still think they can apologise.
Κυριάκο, don't give
Actions
up
speak
your day
louder than
job.
words. Actions speak louder than words.
Και το τραγικό είναι ότι κάθε φορά βρίσκονται τελευταία στιγμή έσπασε μανεύρα με αλήθεια. Στη λυπηστικοπάθεια να με σου διούν τίποτε στα έξω να αξίσεις να σε καθησυχάζουν τίποτε ρε φίλε.
Ευχαριστώ. Κάνει. Να τους παίξουμε πιο φορές για την Ευρώπη. Να τους παίξουμε πιο φορές για το πρωτάθλημα. Γαμώ τον κέρατο μου.
We still got to play them one more time in the league, haven't we? We still got to play them one more time, no?
Ήδη να τους παίξουμε γαμώ τον κέρατο μου. Κάνει. Θέλουμε ένα λίμπα. Να παίξουμε και κανέναν.
Play them 7 times, 8 times in the season. Fucking hell.
4, 5, 6, 8 μαλάκ.
Σάτσι.
Someone messaged me saying, is it Johnny's? Johnny's?
Huh?
The guy's name?
Johnny?
Anyway, don't know. Doesn't ring any bells.
Δεν τον γάδαρον τον άχρηστο.
Head on. Anyway.
Να το πεις εσύ το πράγμα. Μόνο ο Μπούρεκος με τον άσπρον το γάδαρο δικαιώται να το κάνει. Κλείς το ρε.
Anyway, να πάω και εγώ να δω το Patreon ή τώρα ή αύριο να με δουλειά.
Go to bed, ρε. It's fucking 1:30.
Να μας την πω τίποτα από απλά να απολαύσω το... Αν εγώ αλήθεια, όσοι με ρωτούσαμε στα δουλειά μου, τα είχα ξέρω σε αδέρι και ότι μ' κοντά οι άλλοι εγώ θέλω από ένα να περάσει πιο εύκολο, τους έκοβε για το από ένα στα ψυχολόγο τους. Εγώ απλά είπα τους, είμαι κοφτή. Ο Κωσιάς παρατήρω τους, εγώ θα απλά σε αυτού λόγω τους. Απάρχε παράταση. Και μετά, όταν παράταση, λαλούν μου κάτι παρές μου. Παιδί μου, μια μπόλεση να μπορεί να γίνει. Λόγω τους, πέρα τυπάχω λόγω τους. Πέρα τυπάχω θα περάσει. Και είπα μου, όχι το τι θέλεις, το τι να γίνει. Όχι, τούτη υπόβλεψη μου, τη στιγμή που ξέρω ότι ο Ιβούσιτς είναι πιο εμπειρός και πιο νεαρός που τον Μπέλετς, ξέρω ότι ο Ιβούσιτς είναι και πέρτη λόγω τους, άρα είναι καλύτερος που τον Μπέλετς. Και πιστεύω είναι και πέρτη.
Εντάξει, θυμάστε, πέρσι που ήταν οξά πρόπερσι, που τον Ιβούσιτς έφκαλαν τον τσίπου το σκάτον οι παφίτες και θέλαν τον να βγει αμάνα.
Δεν είναι πολλά καλός φέτος, δεν ξέρω, πιο καλός φέτος. Δεν είναι τυχαία που ήταν εθνική Κροατίας, ρε. Το δεύτερο ποτέ να μπουν. Είπαν και World Cup τα φέρνω σου όχι είναι.
Πάντης, ναι! Μπράβο ρε Γεωργία μου! Μπράβο ρε Γεωργία μου! Ευχαριστώ Γεωργία μου! Μόλις έπαινε η ψυχή μου στη θέση της τώρα. Ο Πάντης, μπράβο.
Yeah, because I remember years later there was a website called Fundies where I used to get the Greek football news. I was like, I recognize that name. Obviously it wasn't named after him, but that's, yeah. Anyway, boys and girls, thank you very much. Hope this therapy session was good. We've done almost 2.5 hours. Fucking hell. We could have done a charity marathon, couldn't we? a charity marathon for like, you know, therapy like the Samaritans. Anyway. Pedro, you wrap it up, man. I dare you do it. Come on.
Well, let's just please everyone, calm down. Calm down.
Αν το πεις του Γιανκάρλο, που έκανα το live stream, έκανα το παίχτην και παγόριζε μες στα δίσκο. Μα να μου το στανιστικά, και συγγραμμέ, παγόριζε. Πάντα μου το στανιστικά.
Κούρτισες τον man, εσύ φταίεις.
Τίποτε έκαμε εγώ, απλά έκανα το live stream.
Ναι ρε, με τα fucking voice notes σου πας στο Discord. 3 λεπτά voice note. 2 minutes voice note. 3
Όχι,
minutes
Τζίνο,
voice note.
αέστο Τζίνο. Μιλώ σου για το
Άιστο Τζίνο τώρα.
που ανακοινώναν τον παίχτη στο Ομονία TV και μπήκαν μες στο κολούλι και μπήκαν και γάμα του.
We ain't got one more minute. Άντε, bye, bye.
Ναι. Ναι. Και
Ναι.
ευκάλω τάχα το βίντεο. Ευκάλω το από σε κάμερα μου και δείχνα τάχα το λάπτοπ.
Εσύ να πεις
Πέτρο,
κάτι άλλο,
παρακαλώ.
Κυριακό?
Μηδέν. Άντε.
Οκ. Λοιπόν, είπαμε τα και σήμερα, απλά να παρακαλέσω τους φίλους μας ομονιάδες, πρέπει να ηρεμήσουμε όλοι λίγο. Κανεί να τσακώνεστε μεταξύ σας, ο καθένας με το μακρύν του και το ζαβόν του και το ίσον του. Η μοίρα μας τούτη είναι. Πάλι ομονιάδες είμαστε όλοι. Να δούμε πού είναι να καταλήξουμε και φέτος. 31 το μήνα σήμερα, ρε Στέλ. 31. Last day for transfers. Τελευταία μέρα των μεταγραφών σήμερα.
What time does the window close in Cyprus? What time is
12.
midnight?
Μεσάνυχτα.
Midnight.
Shall we do a live stream until midnight Cyprus time? Breaking news.
Νομίζω ότι είναι να γίνει, ρε Στέλ, να γίνει ως το απόγευμα, γιατί θέλουν να σχολάσουν για μες την Ομόνια να πέσουν.
Breaking news. Akindola has just landed in Larnaca Airport. Fundy showed up at the airport to pick him up. Sorry.
Yeah. Τελευταία μέρα των μεταγραφών. Θέλει ατσέφτη, θέλει ασμένεστη. Εμένα ειλικρινά ποσός με ενδιαφέρει πλέον. Εγώ τον που θέλω είναι όλοι οι ομονιάτες να ηρεμήσουμε, να κάτσουμε λίγο τους τόνους κάτω, να φέρουμε λίγο τα μύγια μας. Πρωτάθλημα είναι μακρύν ακόμα. Έχουμε και το κύπελλο μπροστά μας. Ευκήκαν τα εισιτήρια εντωμεταξύ για το ευρωπαϊκό παιχνίδι με την Πάφο. Οι κατόχοι των season tickets έχουν προτεραιότητα ως τις 2 του μήνα.
This guy promoting the fucking tickets now. People are going to think that we're being paid by the club to do this.
According to Pingo, δεν πιάνουμε τίποτε από την Ομόνια.
He's like, by the way, the tickets are for sale. Buy them. Hello.
European.
Merch here.
Άντε ρε φίλε.
Ένα σημείο τώρα εισιτήρια.
Ρε. Σιώπα.
Next thing you know, Pedro's gonna be like getting the lackey out with the fucking scratch cards, putting him on like the guy at the beach at the thalassa. You're sitting there trying to mind your own business, going, like, yo, I'm right, mate. Go over. Pedro's rolling him out. He's on his podilato going, bombes.
Όχι, στη Λάρνακα. Μπόμπα η κόπα που είναι. Πας στην παραλία. Μπόμπα η κόπα. Παγωτό, 1 ευρώ. Ice cream, 3 euros.
Oh, God. Άντε, καλή νύχτα σας. Just go to bed. Go to sleep. Άντε, bye.
Σάββατο.